Fish on your shirt?
Why, yes, it is. You like it?
Yeah, it looks 3D.
Yeah. Looks good. It's actually pretty comfortable. Pretty damn comfortable, I must say. Definitely gotta get you some. Actually, if you go to intotheam.com/kidsmooth, get 10% off the entire store. Don't worry. I won't make you pay. I'm already ahead of it. Already bought a couple. Some Moon Mans, some Happy Faces, some jellyfish. But yeah, I think it's pretty dope. Yes, that's right. intotheam.com/kidsmooth. Click the link in my description and get 10% off these very comfortable t-shirts. They're running a bundle deal for their graphic tees, which is 3 for $60. Click the link below and you'll get an additional 10% off. I would not steer you in the wrong direction. Get graphic tees. If you don't like graphic tees, they got some basic tees. But at the end of the day, they're all comfortable to me. I got a couple of them I think you'll like, so make sure you visit. Use my link, intotheam.com/kidsmooth, to get yourself a savings, and let me know how you like it, man. Let's get to the video. A little early. All right, man. What is up, everybody? Planet Xbox episode 108. Make sure if you're in a mood to shop, you know what I mean. Check out the had to send out that little the Twitter invite. Got to get the homie Ham in here. But if you in the mood to shop, check out intotheam.com/kidsmooth. Get yourself 10% off everything in the store. But other than that, man, how's everybody doing? How is everyone doing?
Great, man.
Great.
Everything is good. Game Pass is looking good. Yeah.
Game Pass is looking good.
Game Pass looking good, man. I've been checking out the games that's coming in. Been checking out the perks, taking advantage. You know what I mean?
Is anybody playing anything in particular right now?
Well, on Game Pass.
Oh, I've been like getting on Genshin a bit more. So I've been that's like my new addiction now. Is playing Genshin Impact, playing that, finishing up Horizon, and then get back to Unity and Chronicles until I go waste through that.
I've been messing around with Origins. I just got.
Oh, did you, dude? Like, I got nothing else to do. I got things to do in that game, but as far as story content, I beat the expansions, and I was like, I don't know if I'll do New Game Plus, but I'm feeling that update, man. I feel the update. The game felt better, looked better, and I played it on both the Series S and X. So I ran through the expansions, and it was a good update. It was well needed. So anybody, once again, if you skipped Origins or didn't want to, or didn't play, Origins, I think it's one of the best ones in the recent trilogy. I know Odyssey, holds a high place, but Origins is one of the less bloated and is still grounded. You're not a demigod in that game. And Egypt is a beautiful, beautiful location for that game. But let's see. Let me just make sure I sent him the link. All right.
He's in the Discord. I see his name inside here.
Yeah, but I need him to join General or something, or join something. Join a chat so I can pull him in. But yeah, but any other than that, anybody else playing anything recent?
What's up, Ole Man? I know you be playing shit.
No, I'm just playing Tiny Tina's Wonderland. That's what I'm in right now.
Gotcha.
That and trying out the new, subscribe to that new PS Now or whatever PS Plus it is.
Yeah,
right?
it's crazy.
Yeah.
I upgraded my thing, but I almost got fooled in upgrading to the premium one until I realized when they auto renew you on annual basis, and I didn't want to get surprised in November whenever I'm due. I think November 12th, to get like $118 charge for that, and I'm like, yeah, nah. But the minimum amount to upgrade, I think, cost me $16 to upgrade for the rest of the to at least to finish out the 6 months.
Yeah.
But I downloaded Ghost of Tsushima, Death Stranding, Demon Souls, tried Demon Souls. And the game I've been playing is that I actually started to stick with was that Shadow Warrior 3.
Oh, yeah, I didn't get on it because when I was trying to get PS Now like a few weeks ago, it was unavailable to even subscribe or whatever. So I just left it alone, and they want me to pay like what, $14 or something like that, 20 to upgrade it to premium or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
I
I
just
mean,
looked
it's
at it.
cheap, but all that does is just to push you towards your regular expiration, right? So, which
Right.
yeah, which essentially.
I mean, I was just looking at the difference, and I'm like, yeah, I mean, whatever. I ain't in a rush. Like, I was
Like
just
for me, it was like $33 to upgrade, right?
Yeah,
And
same.
I get that till December 29th, and then it'll roll to the $120 thing, which I'm just gonna keep because a lot of stuff on there it looks pretty interesting to me, and I'll probably play through it. And it's only $60 more than just subscribing to PS Plus as it is. But like a couple of things that I was looking at was, I mean, if it's only it was $33 to cover for 6 months. And my thing is, if I look at, you got Stray coming out next month, that's dropping day one in the extra or the premium tier, and that's a $30 game right there. So for the price of one game, I'm getting 6 months of this new PS Now thing. So that to me is kind of worth it.
it's now
all right.
fire,
I mean,
so, you know.
I like the thing is the cool thing, the value thing is that it's a cool service. I like the PlayStation's integration in their UI. They make things look very sexy. So there's a handful of games like I didn't rebuy Ghost of Tsushima for the upgrade. Didn't buy Death Stranding at all. Didn't buy Demon Souls. Like get my drift. Like especially the games that were costing $70. And then Shadow Warrior. I mean, I could have been, I guess, gotten. I just forgot about it. So. The thing is that hey, I'm not mad at it. It's gonna allow me to thank you, babe, to play the games that I've been I've been interested in, but I didn't buy. And so I'm not mad at it. I think they got a compelling service. It allows me to double up on some of the games, like the games that I've beaten on, like Xbox before or played through Game Pass or whatever. And I can replay and play through PlayStation, run through those if I want to increase my count and whatnot. But let's see, is Ham Solo here yet, man?
Yeah, he's in here.
He's in here?
Yo, Ham, bro.
Hello, everybody.
What the heck?
No, I'm just messing with you.
Hell yeah! No! Put that shit back on. I like that.
Kitsu, how you doing?
Yo, podcast like this.
I don't know. That was a little creepy.
Yeah, what
man.
is that? Some sort of like voiceover?
Yeah, it's a voice mod,
There's a plugin you can get probably.
bro. They got this voice mod thing that you can get like the license to all this stuff and be able to use the program and use all the stuff in it for only $37 for life, like a lifetime license for it. So I went on ahead and bought that. It's pretty dope.
What is it through?
It's called voice mod.
And you can use it with what? Well, like, how do you like? I don't understand. Like, what program are you?
Where do you get the voices?
It's
I'm
program.
yeah, the voice mod.
Well,
Yeah,
how
that's
does
what it's
the
called, voice mod.
so how does what kind of voices can you use? Can you use real people voices? Like
I can use all sorts of voices.
this dude.
Hell
Man, yeah. I'm saying like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I can even use this voice, baby. You feel me? But I hear y'all talking about PlayStation, and I really wish I could try that service. But I'm at a hotel right now,
Oh, okay.
and for some reason, since PS5 doesn't have a browser, I can't accept the terms to use the Wi-Fi.
Oh, that's funny as hell.
What's that?
I said that's funny as hell.
Can't you just hook
No, it's horrible.
phone? Like, can't you do hotspot on your phone?
I have to pay for that through Verizon. Like they force you to.
You don't
They
just have,
charge you for that.
Yeah,
I have Verizon.
You have to have you have a particular plan to have hotspot. That's the thing.
Right.
Every plan has hotspot. And then they cap how much data you can use with hotspot.
But you can also sign up on your phone as well.
Oh yeah.
On your PS app.
Really?
Yeah, you just download a PS app, of course. You know.
Yeah, I got the PS app.
Yeah, and you can do it that way as well too.
So I can connect to the Wi-Fi through the PS app.
Wouldn't.
No,
that's what I need to do.
I don't. Well,
you would sign up on the PlayStation app and then just sign into your PS5.
Because you said you couldn't accept the terms of agreements, right? Because of the web browser.
No, he can't. He can't do the capture, like sign into the Wi-Fi in the hotel.
Exactly.
Oh, he can't sign into the Wi-Fi.
So, because you know how you
I
used
turned
to
on
close
my
the hotel Wi-Fi and then you could get redirected to the browser and then you can connect to it. He can't.
Yeah, like
do
a
that on
doctor's
his
office.
PlayStation.
I don't know. Then that's the hotel Wi-Fi. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you on that one.
Bruh, I mean, I could do it on my Xbox because it has a browser.
Oh yeah, I just realized. Okay.
So my Xbox is online, and I was playing 2K with the boys yesterday, just fine. But I turned on my PlayStation. I went through YouTube videos, and the guy's like, "Yo, you could try this, but it might not work." And I'm like, "Bruh."
Oh, how many views has that got? I want to make a probably how to. This will probably work.
That's exactly what it is. So like I wish I could have thoughts on this whole PlayStation service with you guys because I have it. I just can't go online. Can't try it.
Chris, did you upgrade your membership?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
haven't even got the chance to get in there to check out what I have to do if I have to do anything.
Oh, your name is Chris too. Oh, that's what's up. Man.
Oh, I thought you were talking to me. My bad, dog.
Nah. Yeah. I have it. I already upgraded, but the only game that I downloaded right now is Wild Arms on the PS1 from the PS1 because I definitely want to get the trophies for that. But I browsed through the selection, and there's definitely games that I haven't played Guardians of the Galaxy yet. I haven't played Assassin's Creed Valhalla yet. And a few others as well too. So I'm definitely gonna put the service into you. But nah, so far the only game that I downloaded is because I'm kind of backed up right now, and then plus this month there's a few releases. Well, no, there's one releases at the end of this month, DNF Duel, the fighting game, and then next month it's like two Switch games, two long ass Switch RPGs that are coming out next month that I'm getting day one.
Okay.
So.
How many games? PlayStation 1 games got trophies?
Only
I know.
so far.
Yeah, so
I know Siphon Filter, Wild Arms,
Ape Escape.
Ape Escape.
Ape Escape, Dark Cloud 2. I think Dark Cloud 1, maybe. I'm not sure. Maybe Dark Cloud. Dark Cloud 2. Rogue Galaxy, which I'm gonna get both of them as well too, and then I don't know which other ones as well. But it's the PS1, 2, and PSP collection is actually pretty small. Yeah, and they definitely because that's what you upgrade the highest tier for, right? It's for the older games, but you can buy them straight up. Like Wild Arms, I don't have to sign up for PS Plus to obtain these games.
Buy them, right?
They're all $10. Yeah, Wild Arms is
Isn't it just one game on PSP though right now?
Yeah, one.
What the hell?
That whole library, that whole fucking library. They only got one.
Like, goddamn, like Microsoft didn't start off with all this shit day one ready.
They started off with more shit.
Yeah. Oh, they started off with a bunch of Xbox One games.
No, it was a bunch of 360 games. When Back
Exactly.
Back Compat came out on
Xbox
Xbox One, when Back Compat came on Xbox One, there was
they only have 50
One.
Xbox One games. That's it. They only have 50 of them.
That's more than like the 10 we got. Fucking PS1 game.
Yeah, it's 20 more than the 30. Yeah.
I mean, my
PlayStation
point is
got
it's
the
the
dub, 'cause
highest
they got-
tier. It's the highest tier, and it's got one game in the PSP.
Yeah, out of that whole library of PSP game, come on.
I mean,
library.
the PlayStation get a dub because they got 4 more games with trophy support on their Gen 1 system than the Xbox.
Exactly.
does, So
Yeah, I mean that is nice, but let me tell you what, playing Siphon Filter, yeah, it's rough.
yeah, that was before there was analogs, right?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
knew that shit. I was
It
going
is
through that
rough
shit.
as
I
hell,
don't know why people were getting hyped for that shit. I was like,
man.
y'all
Because
sure?
because
Yeah,
that
sure,
was
I
like,
want to play for Siphon Filter. One now, 2 is vastly improved control wise, right? 2 and 3. But 1 is outdated as fuck. So I was like, all right, y'all have at it, bro. I'd rather play Wild Arms that holds up way better than Siphon Filter.
Well, I mean, it's just, I guess, the nostalgia, right? It's this nostalgia. And that game did not age well.
All right, guys. Let's get into it. Like, you know what I mean? As far as, like, you know, the showcase. We didn't get to do our live reaction. What's up?
Nah, I just went,
okay.
The showcase.
We didn't get to do our live reaction. I know everybody had their own commitments. I mean, Logan was sick. D-Nick was asleep. Like, and you had Dope. Dope was in New York or some shit like that.
Yeah, I was out there just I was partying, man. That shit was crazy.
Where was Sad Boy at?
Sad Boy, man.
That man's in Mars.
Yeah.
I mean, so the thing is, all right, the showcase happened. We didn't have our raw reactions with each other, so this is really the time where we can kind of give our collective thoughts. I mean, I've shared my opinions all over the place on Twitter videos. I had first opinions, second opinions, raw opinions. But I really want to hear from the team. I've been ignoring the PX chat. But let's start. I'm gonna start with the guest.
Yeah, I'll be real quick, man.
All right, we can start with Chris then. Okay.
That way y'all can get y'all thoughts off. To me, it's simple. I'll just go over my highlights. High on Life definitely looks fucking really good. From I think it was the Rick and Morty people, the people who do Trover, Saves the Universe, right? That team. That actually looks pretty interesting. That actually out of all of the showcases, right? You can even throw in the State of Play, right? Out of all the showcases that showed, especially the Summer Games Fest, right? And even the Xbox that showed a shit ton of first-person shooters, right? Majority of them look generic and the same shit over and over again. This was the one that actually stood out for me. That I was like, oh shit, this is a unique first-person shooter that I would definitely give it a shot or whatever. So I thought that was good. What else game? I mean, of course, I predicted Forza was going to be there. Of course, it looks great. At this point, nobody should be surprised that a next-gen racing game looks good. You know what I mean? Like that's a given. So, of course, Forza, even though I'm not into racers, I don't even care about Gran Turismo. I haven't bought Gran Turismo. Even though I don't care about racers or anything like that. So it does not inform me, but obviously I acknowledge that it is a visual showpiece and it looks very really good and stuff like that. So even though they confirmed that portion of it was PC, right? That build or something like that. There was one indie game, and they showed numerous of indie games, and I like indie games, right? But for some reason, a lot of the indie games that they showcased at this show, they didn't really connect with me like for previous shows. Like in the last year one was like Replace and shit like that. The only one that to me kind of looks interesting was the one made by the Echo Generation team. I forgot what that was called.
That is
right.
Shoot, why is the name escapes me? But I know what you're talking about. It's
yeah, it was the RPG. It was like all colorful and shit, like colorful and like quirky shit, right? It was like made from the people who did Echo Generation, right? It was kind of in the same style a little bit. That one looked pretty dope. And what else was there? Oh yeah, Persona 3, 4, and 5. I'm definitely excited about that because I'm definitely getting those games on PlayStation. A lot of people were freaking out that it wasn't going to come to PlayStation or Switch, at least 3 and 4 and shit like that. But I knew that when they never said exclusive, so I knew that they were going to announce it the next day or the day after. Then come to find out later that night that there's some like 2-day embargo thing going on or something like that. And then the Team Ninja game was definitely a surprise, right? It was called Wulong or Wu something.
Wulong,
Wulong.
Fallen Dynasty.
Yeah. Definitely, I love Team Ninja. I loved all the Ninja. I played all the Ninja Gaiden games, at least the 3D ones, right? Not the 2D ones. Love Neo 1 and 2, beat both of them on PlayStation. So I'm definitely looking forward to this game as well. And it's good that, well, yeah, I mean, y'all got Strangers of Paradise 2 day one from Team Ninja, but, it's looking like this is going to be their own original, unique IP and stuff like that. So definitely, man, all the OG Xbox fans that, you know what I mean? Like one of the reasons why I got an OG Xbox, other than Knights of the Old Republic and Morrowind, was Ninja Gaiden was exclusive. I remember Ninja Gaiden Black was exclusive to Xbox, and I was like, fuck, I want to play that shit. So and then other than that, that was really all that interests me. I mean, Redfall, it's cool that it's vampires this time around, but I feel like we got like 4 or 5 vampire games in like the past 2 years, right? Like the Bloodline games and things like that. But to me, it just looks like just like another 4-player co-op horde, shooter and stuff like that. And if people are into that, then I'm sure they're gonna get excited for that. But to me, that kind of gameplay design and structure is kind of outdated for me personally. Like, I don't really get excited for those games anymore. I don't care about Left 4 Dead or anything like that. And then I'm pretty sure we're gonna talk deeply about Starfield, right? So I don't want to give too much thoughts on Starfield. So overall, I would just say I was underwhelmed by it personally. So but other than those highlights that I announced, to me overall the show was pretty mediocre and mid. It did not convince me right now, at least as of right now, especially that there's really not a lot coming in 2022, right? It didn't really convince me right now to buy an Xbox for me personally.
Okay.
But that's just me, of course, not to rain on anybody's parade or anything like that, but that's just my honest thoughts.
Not fair enough. Ham. Solo.
What's up?
You got to watch the show. You watched the showcase, right?
Absolutely. I was watching it live with reactions on one of my other channels.
Oh, okay, all right. And I didn't check. I haven't checked out your reactions yet. What were they? What would you think of the show overall? What stood out and what didn't you like?
So one of the goofy things on this specific channel that I was doing the reactions on, the only person I'm following on Twitter with that account is Kojima, literally. And I did that like 3 or 4 months ago. So I thought it was really ironic to have him in the bottom left corner of my screen, and then he just all of a sudden pops up on the showcase. I thought that was pretty funny. I had a good time with that. As for the games in the showcase, as Chris said, High on Life looked phenomenal. I was laughing the entire time I was watching that. I'm really excited for Plague Tale, even though they didn't give an actual release date. I believe they're going to be coming out and talking about that game a little bit more in depth, and maybe they might have a release date then and there. Forza Motorsports looked fire. The Hot Wheels expansion DLC for Horizon 5 looked fantastic. Arc 2 is probably my most anticipated game.
Are you serious?
Within that whole, yeah, I'm dead serious. I put over 120 days in the first one.
Oh yeah, so if you like Arc 1, then I can see that.
Yeah, and I was reading an article today that says the new Arc is supposed to be more of a Souls kind of feel, and they're gonna have better traversal with swinging, parkouring, a bunch of different random stuff that was not part of the first game.
Man, who doesn't like Vin Diesel on dinosaurs?
I just don't understand how they're gonna implement that. Isn't Ark like a caveman sim?
No. Not really.
Right? Yeah.
Not exactly. I mean, you start out like a caveman, but the whole point is to build up and be like within the times.
Okay.
Yeah, like advance forward and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, so like by closer to the end game, you got your what is it called? You got like machine guns, and you got turrets, and you got a big ass base, and you got electricity running through it. You got tech gear, and you're flying through the sky and stuff like that. So there's a lot to build up from starting out as a caveman in that game. But anyways, moving on, I was also really excited to see Scorn was absolutely dope. It was disgusting looking, but I thought it was pretty cool. I'm excited to see it come out. Flintlock looked pretty great. Interested to see that. I mean, it looked really fun. It kind of gave me Fable feels, where you have, a gun and you're also slicing and dicing and whatnot. continuing on, that Wulong thing looked pretty dope because I grew up playing Dynasty Warriors and stuff like that, and I was always trying to get 1,000 kills all the time in that game back in the day. I did not care about the Persona thing, but I'm happy for the people that get the chance to play that now. That's pretty cool. And as for Starfield, I don't know about y'all, but I'm hyped about that. That looks really cool. I'm excited to see what the modding community decides to do with pieces of that game. I'm excited to build my own ship, build my own place. I mean, hey, I love playing Ark, so I like building and stuff like that. So that looked really cool. Redfall, I feel the opposite than Chris on this one. I'm actually pretty excited because I'm really big into Borderlands as well. Really like that game. So the disappointing thing was when they were talking about I think a female from IGN was talking to can't remember the name off the top of my head. Was it like Matt Booty or something? No, I think it's Pete Hines. And they were saying that you can't like when you jump into somebody else's game, you don't get any credit for any of the missions and stuff that you complete, which to me is kind of sad.
Why though? You played Outriders, right? I had like 4 different gaming partners in that game. Like
right
in the co-op, it was like I feel like it only makes like sense, right? Because like in most co-op like games like that, you'll get like stuff like obviously the proper credits like gear and all that stuff, but actual story like story mode that you could like go in one game, right? And you start your game, right? And then let's say you go into a friend's game who's like maybe 3 chapters ahead of you. Like how like I don't know, like do you want like
that would be weird. If you start from the same point, I can see where that would be an issue, but if you're like way apart, it doesn't make any sense.
Well, for me, it kind of does because I could just use a new character to play multiplayer with people and have my own character.
That's what it's set up to be, like, right? Because you use a different character when you're playing with somebody else. Play as someone else, or use the character you're using on your own to at least get like the gear to rank up your stuff faster. Like when I was playing like Outriders and stuff, I was playing really for the story, but when it came down to play with other people, like I would either you join my game and then we'll go back and we'll run it on your end. And I would just get the loot and stuff like that. But like I've literally had like 4 partners, and that sounds so weird. In Outriders, literally, like I was playing with with Gaming Addict, I was playing with Cognito, I was playing with strangers because we were trying to like do things. I was playing with an old friend I haven't played with since like 2014. Like, and I was like, oh, I understand it depending on the type of game it is, but when you look at it, if you're mentioning like Borderlands and it's gonna have its like loot material, it's gonna have its items that you can pick up, it makes sense that your story progression is not going to carry over for a simple and I don't expect the game to be like a 6-hour game and that's it, right? Where you would do it all in one sitting. So I don't know. I know people were upset about that, but I'm like, dude, we play like several games where that's exactly how it is in that type of game, and it's like no biggie. But like I said, if I'm going
Borderlands spoiled me for that though, because you could do that in Borderlands. You could say like it'd pop up and say, you've already done this mission, do you want to skip? And usually I'd say yeah, because I remember doing that mission before. And his point on it was like, if you don't remember it, they don't want to spoil it, which I understand. And like I said, it still looks cool. I'm still gonna play it. I'm still very excited for it. If I were to say, hey, at least do this, it would probably be like side missions. Like, hey, at least give me the credit for the side missions. Yeah. I don't exactly need you to take away parts of the story for me, but it'd be cool, like because I don't know. For me personally, I don't like doing side missions over and over and over, especially if there's a lot of them. So if I do them in somebody else's game, I'd like to just be done with it and not have to come back to it in my game. But I completely understand what you're saying about the story mode portion of it. I mean, whatever. But I mean, that was kind of my feelings about the whole event. The flight simulator thing was pretty cool too, because I play a lot of flight sim right before I go to bed. So I'm really happy to see like helicopters and stuff like that in there. pretty dope. To me, it was a good. It was a good show. Early when I was reacting to it, I gave it a 9 out of 10. But after kind of like letting it digest and everything, I dropped it down to an 8. And I feel like that's pretty solid. The thing that would have made it a 10 for me is if they would have like threw Avowed in there, or maybe like the Wu-Tang game that they were talking about a while back. That would have been dope to see in there. But all in all, it was still a good event. It showed off what Game Pass has to offer, which is really dope. So I don't know. I was happy with it. The Tuesday event now, that thing made me tired. I was sleepy during that event.
I enjoyed the information that I got out of the Tuesday event because it actually made me more interested in certain games that were shown that I didn't have. I wasn't. It didn't pique my interest, but I was like, okay, this looks good. But I feel like that Tuesday show helped some games shine. That I was like, okay, all right. I'm
High on Life was hilarious. Yeah. That triple I shit was funny.
I want to give a shout out to Love Ballad Poppy. He says, with the $5 super chat, he says, supporting black businesses. On another note, I'm playing the Game Pass anthem at my wedding.
Oh, Lord.
Wow. Oh, yeah. Oh, wow, I forgot. I did that song after the podcast last week. Okay. Okay. Almost forgot about it. Yeah, so, check out Game Pass after the podcast, the Game Pass anthem. So, Nick, man, usually, we've been in, chats and Discords, after these events, and I've heard you disappointed some years. At some point, you were even killed. What was your take this year? Like, I'm just curious of what.
Yeah, man. I'm just gonna be honest, man.
Go ahead.
This shit didn't. It's not E3, man. That's all I'm gonna say. And it's not even. It's so much more bigger games I expected. Hellblade 2, Fable, and things like that. And I was disappointed. Yeah, that was one of the main reasons I was disappointed. But it's like the pacing of the show, the way they, presented some stuff, like they saved everything for the end, and it was like everybody was already asleep by then. Yeah, I don't know, man. I was asleep, but I'm just saying. But I mean, of course, there's some games in there that some of the ones y'all named, Flintlock, pretty much everything. What's that? Naraka, that joint that's coming out this morning.
That was one of the games that got me hyped after the showcase. The Tuesday showcase opened me up to that one more. But go ahead.
Right, yeah, that and we didn't see Atomic Heart. Like it's just a lot that was missing, and I'm like, what the fuck are they doing?
Yeah,
bro?
I feel like they could have traded off. Like, you know what I mean? I would have rather.
I mean, Smooth. If you're trying to play Naraka, we could play right now, bro. That shit on Steam.
Nah, that my PC might melt. PC might hot. Like I said, every time I play something relatively decent on my PC, shit get hot.
We could talk about that after the podcast.
Yeah. Well, I do think the way they presented Diablo 4 was nice.
Yeah.
I wasn't disappointed with Starfield. I mean, everybody expected Fallout 4 in space. I don't know what. Maybe they expected cinematic over the shoulder. Like, I don't understand about the Starfield hate. I don't. And I'm not even into them games, but I really didn't understand that. It was mostly people that didn't play those type of games that was disappointed. But I mean, when I seen that Team Ninja though, I ain't even gonna lie. I thought we was getting Neo at first.
Yeah.
I mean, I was like, oh, why they got this here? Like, but finally, and some things was cool, like Stalker 2 devs. They showed how they was, in tune into things, and but I just the presentation wasn't.
Dude, that was a rough part. That shit was rough.
Yeah, like
that Stalker 2 thing like hit me in the chest.
Yeah. I mean, it just wasn't E3, bro. Like, we need E3 back. We need games to get back on. I don't know. I know everybody disappointed that Hellblade 2 wasn't there. That was the main thing.
That's why I feel like Hellblade shouldn't have showed up at the Game Awards. I feel like if the gameplay, do you think if Hellblade, but then again, I'm gonna say something after everybody get their bars off, but
I mean, that's pretty much it with me though, man. It wasn't good. It was worse than the last one.
Dope is J, man.
This event was hot fucking garbage. Hot garbage. It was not a good event. Last year was way better. Last year had everyone much more engaged, feeling way better after that event was finished. Of a lot of the titles that we seen there were titles that we were getting immediately, and then a couple of updates to some titles that were coming in the near future. We had a podcast a week before this talking about some of the things that we wanted to see, some surprise announcements and things of that matter. Yeah, they had a couple of surprise announcements, right? Obviously the Persona, you had the Team Ninja game that got shown off. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool.
Kojima.
Yeah, Kojima, that's a surprise, right? But then you had all this other like fluff, like Grounded update, Fallout 76 update, DFD's update. I don't like. Okay, like cool. Those games are still there. Are they still alive? Who the fuck knows? Really? Like, I don't care. Like, I care more about the Forza Horizon update. That's nice, right? But everything else that they showed was like kind of mid. I'm interested in Redfall. We can get into Starfield later. Like that game, I'm like, yeah, I'll talk about it later. We can have like a whole discussion on Starfield, but this event was poorly constructed. Some of the stuff that people were anticipating and wanted to see, it wasn't there. And then you have other reports saying that these games are either behind the development or they had to reboot development. That's the case for Avowed. Like, there's an entire report about that. Now, it's not under development hell, but they rebooted development a couple times with that game. So it's like, yo.
I mean, but what does that mean? How long ago was that?
That's what I'm saying. Like, what the fuck is that? Why are you telling me this? And I don't know. The messaging on that wasn't really clear. You know, Jason Schreier as always, right? But
he just did it.
I don't know. I did not.
He needs he likes doing this shit.
They like the clicks. They like the ratings. They got to get people to talk about shit. But I didn't like this event at all. The Riot Games. Oh, we have Riot Games coming to Game Pass, but it's only on PC. Fuck you, console guys. Like,
oh yeah,
what?
that was funny. It was more PC.
Plus, you have access.
That's what I'm saying.
Podcast,
like what the fuck is that? Like, that makes no sense.
Bless has access to the podcast. I don't know why he's asking. Just jump in.
Oh yeah, Bless. If you want to hop in here, feel free to hop in here. But this event was bad. I did not like this event whatsoever. 2020 was better. 2021 was certainly better. Like, that was a great event from start to finish. I personally thought 2021 they had the best event out of everyone. Nintendo shit was trash last year. Sony had theirs later. What was it, like
September?
August or September or some shit. So I don't even count them. But yeah, This event wasn't good. And yeah, that's my thoughts on it.
Ole Man Logan, cheer me up.
I mean, I don't know if I'm gonna give you too much cheer. Like,
that's all right. I just like to hear from you.
Well, I mean, I'm not gonna say like I'm probably not gonna be as hard as everybody else here. But if I had to like, if you say, hey, what was the score that you would give it? I'd probably like give it like a 7 out of 10, which isn't terrible. I mean, it didn't like, I didn't think it was an absolute terrible showcase. I just think that there was just a lot to be desired from it. Like,
yes, absolutely.
The stuff that they showed, yeah, I'm hella interested. High on Life, like that Pretendment game from Obsidian, like I actually really like.
They got selling me on that shit.
Yeah. I liked how, like, I don't know, I liked how it looked. So that's that's just me. But like, and I get it. Their whole thing was, hey, this is things you're going to get to play with in the next 12 months. And so that's where it kind of gets rough, because it's like, well, you announced all these other games and now we have like no updates on them, like Fable and like in Avowed and all these like games.
Hellblade, State of Decay 3.
Like I could have sworn at least with the delay of Starfield and Redfall into next year, at least we would have gotten Hellblade. I don't know why I thought it. Like, I just was like,
I had the same thoughts too.
I felt like at least Hellblade would be like something that they could pull out of their ass and say, hey, here's this Hellblade, gameplay. Look at it. Look how awesome it is. Oh, it's also dropping like this year.
Oh, hell no.
No,
there's no way.
Y'all nervous.
Man, the game
shown, yes. They come out this year? No. Shown, yes.
Came,
I would have expected it to come. announced.
So
at the show.
the thing is, like, so
It
that's
would have
the
been
thing.
so small.
I get how they're like, okay, we're only going to show games for like that's coming out the next year, and that's what disappoints me the most because you know what that means. All these games that they've highlighted and shown aren't coming out for another year. You might get them at the end of next year or 2024, like the games that we really want. And so that's where I kind of got like more upset with it because I was like, wow, like. None of these games I really, really want are here.
Yeah.
Now, don't get me wrong. High on Life, like that was one of the like sleeper showcases like sleeper kind of hits of the showcase because I thought that looked funny and I liked like how the graphically it looked and I liked how they didn't take it themselves too serious or like we're like I love that they said triple I like having fun with it and stuff and that was one of my highlights. I enjoyed Redfall's gameplay showcase. I thought that looked
that
was a lot better than what a lot of because I remember that like the alpha for that game.
The leaks, right?
Those screenshots were like, oh, look how terrible this looks, and they got dragged. And then when they showed off that gameplay, dude, I was like, damn, this Redfall looks really, really dope. I'm actually really excited to play it. And for it being in that position now, and they delayed it to make sure they want to get it in the best spot. I mean, that's just only going to get, improved and better, as we wait for it. So, like, Redfall was definitely something that I was pumped for. And, like, the Persona stuff, that shit didn't really matter to me because I have a PlayStation. So, Persona coming on to Xbox it's nothing to me. So, that didn't wow me. Kojima, I thought the whole Kojima announcement, that was really cool because, everybody's like Kojima will never be on.
He didn't show
Xbox,
that. Oh yeah,
he didn't show. He just kind of is like, hey, I'm here, and I'm doing this thing, and then he's like, he left. I have faith that like the stuff that he's put out, I've always been interested in. Huge Metal Gear Solid fan, loved Death Stranding, so like. I trust like in him as a developer, like what he wants to do, and if he's partnering with Microsoft and they're going to give him the money to do it and let him do his creative freedom stuff that he always does, I think that's going to be solid across the board.
They said it was going to be like a smaller indie type of cloud-based game.
I'm
interested to see what the hell that is.
Like I'm okay with like that. That doesn't bother me. The other thing that I really liked was Scorn. Getting a release date for Scorn because that has been like one of my top like I really want to play this game. Like,
thank you.
At least that game's on track. Shit, when they show it 2020, at least it's on track.
There's something for everybody, right?
So like
that game looks so
well, like you guys know me. I like horror games and
you like tentacles
and hey, man, I don't know. I'll take one.
You like hentai?
Umbilical cords.
Yo, but I mean, you can't look at that game and be like, that is not a highly detailed game. Like, holy
no, it definitely is.
It looks.
It's just fucking gross. That's
the whole point of it, Chris. It's
exactly. So if that's the whole point, then
body
it's
horror.
Definitely not gonna entice me to play that.
Chris said you ain't gonna sell me on this shit.
That shit is high. It looks highly boring. That's what it looks like.
What? Get the hell out of here.
I mean, every time they show it, it's just a guy like walking a corridor, killing one enemy at a time, maybe, and just continuously walking slowly. Like it looks boring.
They ain't gonna sit there and show you everything.
I wonder if you could just run.
They showed it.
They haven't really shown a lot of compelling things. Except
they haven't.
Penises.
Yeah, that's basically it. It looks nasty, but it doesn't look fun at all. Like it just it doesn't look fun. It's just like you're walking.
It's a protocol. That looks fucking gross and shit like that as far as the gore, but that shit looks amazing. Like,
it looks like it looks great and fun to play.
Gameplay.
Okay.
One thing I will say about this showcase, that I will give props to Xbox because they have improved dramatically, is they did show a substantial amount of gameplay this time around. Versus their other conferences and stuff like that. And there was still, that little talking and shit like that, but it wasn't drawn out, it
wasn't too much talking.
Compared to the last one. So they have improved as far as like the, how they present it. Personally, I think that this showcase probably could have been better or probably received better if it was probably like just an hour or like 50 minutes, and they cut out like the fat from like Sea of Thieves and Grounded and stuff like that.
Get that shit out of here.
And the first party offering, other than Starfield,
yeah, that Sea of Thieves shit pissed me off, bro.
Yeah, other than Starfield and Redfall, the other first party offerings was very weak.
The only one that should have stayed there was Horizon, honestly.
Of course, Horizon, but Obsidian showed up, and they showed up with the whole Grounded thing, and then they showed up with this other game that, to me, I'm like,
one cares about.
This is what y'all allowing Obsidian to. I mean, I understand it's like, oh, this is something that they really want to do and shit like that, but to me, it's like, Obsidian should be fucking
That's what I'm saying.
doing bigger games.
Yeah,
you see an Obsidian logo and then you see that. It's like, what
they
the
should be
fuck is that?
focusing on Avowed,
To
man.
be fair,
crazy.
they got 4 games in development by 4 different teams.
There's only 2 that matters.
Yeah, but I'm saying we got those announcements now. We want to see those, but the thing is, even though I didn't care for what they were showing at the showcase, I'm like, I'm not going to kill them because I know the potential they have. They got Avowed in the works, and they working on Outer Worlds 2, and those are the 2 games I'm looking forward to. So these 2, not only these little cheap ass games are ready first, but like, you know what I mean. I don't think they should be. They got bangers coming. So
this is their version of Bleeding Edge.
Of course, like I have like Obsidian is actually like Avowed and Outer Worlds 2 are actually 2 first party games from Xbox that I'm actually really intrigued and hyped to see. Right, I have way more faith in Obsidian creating a better RPG than actual Bethesda themselves. But to me, it's like the team that's working on this little game, this little Pentiment, and y'all know me, I love smaller games and little smaller RPGs. So it's not the fact that it's not a non-AAA game or anything like that. But whatever team is working on this, they could be using that team to work on Avowed and Outer Worlds 2 to get those games out faster or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So,
I mean, it's funny you said that the team that's working on it is the team that did New Vegas. So
that New Vegas team should be on the project.
They should definitely be on Avowed. They should definitely be on that shit. 100%.
Bless, man, your thoughts on the showcase?
I guess I'll just take a little. I'll take what Logan wanted to say and just say it. Xbox year 2024, baby. Let's go. Xbox's year 2024. Let's go. I mean, that's where all the games that people are looking forward to are probably going to come out. Outside of Starfield, I guess, but
I think that's going to get another delay. But we'll talk about it.
I think so too. I think it's like 70% likely that shit's going to get delayed, or if it doesn't get a delay, it's going to like release like Fallout 4 did on Xbox or like in general. But remember on Xbox when Digital Foundry did that video where it's like, oh, at one point it drops to 0 frames per second. I think that's gonna be some type of shit that's gonna happen for Starfield if they don't delay it again. But this showcase, it was worse than last year's. 100%. I feel like it was worse than last year's. They showed a lot less compelling games, and they showed more gameplay, but it was a lot less compelling games and a lot of just updates that no one cares about, And also, by the way, like they did have some W's for Game Pass for sure. They definitely had some W's, like Hollow Knight and like the Persona games being put into Game Pass day one. Those are big W's.
High on Life. Yeah, they had a couple of the Game Pass day one W's.
Yeah, but also that pisses me off. Like Hollow Knight still doesn't have a fucking release date, by the way. Like they just put that game there, and you know how they had the final picture of like 2022, 2023 for Xbox. Hollow Knight's not even fucking there. That shit.
Well, they say within the next 12 months that all these games are supposedly be coming out. So
that means all those games have to release by June 13th or June.
You know what's crazy? I don't know if they should have said that because if those games get delayed, then it's like, no, then we're not playing these games in the next 12 months.
No, the funny thing is a lot of those games were targeting like 2022 and 2021.
It's slated. Yeah, a lot of shit been definitely delayed. Got to thank COVID, but yeah, let me go through the list real quick. I mean, like some couple of decent W's, I guess. Like Naraka Blade Point, that's coming to the Game Pass. Y'all gonna get like eat up by the people that are on PC that already know like the meta and shit. But I mean, that's good game, I guess. I heard it's fun. What else? Plague Tale Requiem, obviously goated. That shit's gonna be a great game. I need the release date for that. Pentiment is. I wish they would have just worked on Avowed. Honestly, god damn it.
Yeah.
Gunfire Reborn. I heard that's good, so I guess that's a W. No one. You know it's crazy. No one's been talking about Forza Motorsport on the PlayStation side. Everyone's been focusing on Starfield, but no one's talking about the ray tracing on track. Which is funny
because it was on PC.
I mean, yeah, it was on PC. We didn't know that. We didn't know that originally. We didn't know that originally. We didn't know that.
No, because they said
Forza's
there was
one of the-
Series X footage. So they had to clarify and update it that it was a PC.
Yeah, but the
footage.
thing is, I don't care what they showed.
We didn't know that
Forza,
originally, though.
Forza on PC and Xbox has always been identical. Like
They're
outside of
not
frame rate. Outside
they're
of
not
frame rate,
identical.
yeah, they've been ever since they've been porting Forza to PC. Xbox has been sharing, and ever since the Xbox One X existed, they've been sharing the
No.
same graphical.
That's
settings.
right.
No,
Well,
that's
yes,
not true.
what-
That's not
yes,
true.
That's right.
Yes,
That's right.
it is true.
No, that's not true.
It is true.
That's right.
That's
What
actually
GPU what
literally
GPU do you
not
have?
true.
Outside
That's
of frame
literally
rate,
not true.
Outside of frame rate, it is
No,
true.
no. The
Okay.
Xbox One X, like for like the Motorsport, like what was it? 3 and shit?
7.
No, or not Motorsport 3. I meant like
Forza
Horizon 3.
Yeah, Forza Horizon.
Those games were running at like high settings. They weren't running at ultra. What are you talking about?
I said since Forza 7.
You said since like 1X.
1X was Forza 7,
That
and
was-
that's
yeah, that was
2017.
1X.
Forza Horizon 3 was pre 1X.
Oh, I see. But still, I highly doubt that. I mean, Digital Foundry got the books on that shit, so I don't know.
Yeah, and it's identical. Though outside of frame rate, it's identical. I think the only thing with Forza 7, they used two different types of what's that? Something occlusion shit.
Anisotropic filtering.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not identical when the fucking textures.
It was a different type of a certain version was available on a PC. than it was on
Ambient
Xbox.
occlusion.
It was they looked at some cables. That's where they zoomed in. It was like, okay, well here, this is the difference that you can spot, but you have to zoom in.
Oh, anti-aliasing.
Yeah, some shit like that. Yeah, a form of anti-aliasing. I don't know, but so I'm not worried about like Forza, like especially after Forza Horizon, like in Turn 10, their games only look better because they don't have much to work with. They don't have to make their games open world. Shit. Like, okay, I don't care how man, I'm sorry, guys. But go ahead, my bad. I don't want to interrupt you any further.
I just find that funny that like the PlayStation fellas, they haven't said a word about that.
No, that's not true. I've seen it. I can tag you in some of them, and some of the comparisons that they're doing. They're showing better reflection off the cars of GT and stuff like that. But to me, I don't really give.
I'd like to see it.
They're both for. Personally, at first glance, I think Forza looks better, right? At first glance, but I don't know what the comparisons and shit like that is. But I mean, it's racing games. They're always gonna look fucking immaculate. So this doesn't surprise me. It shouldn't surprise anyone that these games look good.
No. It's not that they look good. It's just that all the people that when GT7 came out, they were like comparing it to Horizon 5, like, oh, this looks so much better, yada yada. And that's what I'm saying. That crowd is quiet. That's what.
Well, I'll send you some right now because I definitely seen plenty of them talk about it.
Well, I'll say the typical crowd. I haven't seen them say much or anything.
Okay.
What else? I mean, yeah, them showing Diablo 4 is good. Not in Game Pass yet. They got to make sure. Specifically, not in Game Pass yet.
I forgot about Diablo. That was another highlight of mine.
Yeah.
That
Diablo
shit is
4
a
look
day
good.
one top. I like the Diablo series. I hope Blizzard doesn't fuck it up again.
Yeah,
right?
they have to.
They probably will, right? They're probably gonna fuck it up. But that's definitely a day one cop on PlayStation. And I was surprised that's not even coming to Game Pass day one.
Well, they can't announce it yet.
They
They gotta close the deal first.
They got to close that
Oh,
deal,
they can
bro.
still announce. They can still announce Game Pass. if they
Yeah,
had
but at that
thing.
point,
Activision don't want to lose that money, bro.
yeah.
They don't want to lose that money. They're like, nah, we ain't doing that shit until everything is set in stone. Fuck that. Nah, for sure. Wolong, I wish we saw Wolong gameplay for sure. Definitely wish they saw Wolong gameplay. Flintlock looked like a better Forspoken.
No, it doesn't. That's a cap.
It looks like an indie Forspoken, but better.
It
The
does look
combat
better.
definitely looks better than Forspoken. That combat in Forspoken just looks wispy,
Both
mystical.
games don't look good to me
asleep.
at all.
I mean, it doesn't. I don't think Flintlock looks great. I think it just looks better. So there's that. Minecraft Legends. I don't know how to feel about that. I don't really play those type of games, but I guess some people are excited. I don't know why they did the stuff with the shit with Riot, with the Riot games. Like
That's what I'm saying. It made no
I don't
sense to put it in
understand.
Game Pass, but it's PC only, and the games are free through their own launcher.
Like
It's
I
because
understand,
the-
like
the-
you get like the cosmetics and you get all
Season
the
passes and
characters,
shit like that.
but
yeah.
like if you're heavily into those games, you already have that.
You
shit.
already have them.
You
That's
already
what I'm
have it.
saying.
So it's like, and then on top of that, it's like the Game Pass versions of games are on PC are typically like have some type of issues or just worse in some form or capacity. So why would you want to go to a possibly worse version?
A worse launcher at that too. Like a
It,
worse
like-
launcher. I don't know. It just doesn't make sense. I guess they get the
It's-
branding of, hey, these games are you have the Xbox logo next to it, but
No, it's,
the
it's
the
to
core
up- it's-
the core audience of Xbox gamers who would have been interested in those games, which there are a lot of
on
Xbox
consoles.
gamers that would play those games, are on console, and they don't. It does nothing for them. Nothing at
It
all.
does nothing for them.
Yeah, but
And-
it was an announcement to up engagement on PC Game Pass.
Yeah, but it's just like in general, like I said before, like considering PC Game Pass is like the launcher kind of like completely sucking, and the fact that the version of the game may be hindered
Worse,
or be
through them.
considerably worse in some aspects. It's like, and then like it's like a mini W, but it's like, but why though? It's
If
like
they- if they
it's a
said,
W,
yo,
but it's like, but why?
If they said we're overhauling the launcher,
Yeah.
or integrating Xbox Game Pass PC into Steam or some shit, all right, it makes sense. Cool.
Yeah.
But now, no, not at all. Like
Yeah,
I said, that Riot Games announcement could have been put on Twitter by like Aaron Greenberg or some shit, and it would have been fine.
Yeah. And then they had, I don't know, like Scorn will sleep. What else did they show there? They showed Arc 2, another CGI trailer. Again, the fuck? I guess.
I want Bethesda to do another Chronicles of Riddick. I love that game on the OG Xbox.
That's what he
Chronicles
should
of
do.
Riddick.
That's what he
Yeah.
should do for sure. But yeah, I want to see more of the Arabin game looked interesting. Cocoon looked good. I was always a fan of Inside and whatever that other game was. I forgot.
Like
the other
Below
game.
or some shit like that.
Yeah,
Limbo.
Yeah,
Limbo.
I was a fan of both of those games, so I'm super excited for what they're doing next. Last Case of Benedict Fox was like a semi W, but like that, like I don't know, the platforming was super basic. I was hoping that they would do more with it, but yeah. But yeah, overall, and High on Life as well. But overall, yeah. Honestly, oh yeah, Redfall looked good. Redfall looked good. For
Oh, yeah,
sure.
bro.
I'm interested in Redfall.
You know, where we playing that?
But the thing is with Redfall, like not having only the host keeping the game save is
The
trash.
progression, yeah.
Like that's come on, bro.
Yeah,
Like
you just
really,
do-
we're doing
yeah, we
that
just
in
gotta do a
2022,
separate
2023.
co-op session.
Yeah, it should be shared. It should be shared progression if it's like an open world game like that. But we'll see. Maybe they hear the feedback and they implement it before it releases.
Hopefully, but yeah. And then Starfield. I guess we'll talk about Starfield later. But yeah, overall, I gave it originally like a 7.5, but I was like, after thinking about it, I'm like, nah, this is more like a 6.5 to like a 6, or 6.5 to like a 7. At 7 at best, it's more like 6.5. So yeah.
Yeah, I kind of like my initial response was a 6.5. Then I upped it to about like a 7 because at the end of the day, they showed a lot of gameplay. That's all we complained about the last couple of years. They don't show gameplay, and they show gameplay limited to 2 CGIs, and that was Ark and Mulan. The games that they did show are closer. I think what made the show disappointing to me is that the reality that nothing was really of substance that I thought was coming from Microsoft this year. So Forza was the killer. It's like, damn, you're gonna at least give me Forza. That has to come, right? And the fact that that wasn't like a 2022 game was like, oh damn, these like, oh shit. So I was more so.
That
It wasn't
surprised
really
me.
the showcase itself that was killing. It was the fact I was thinking about the stuff I don't have. It reminded me of like 2017. It was like in 2019. I think I had those type of vibes where I was like, well, damn, like good showcase, but like I'm unhappy. I left the showcase unhappy because I didn't have anything. I feel like they could have did the same showcase, right? And if Starfield and Redfall was still slated for this year, I think I feel a whole lot different, right? That's how big a difference those delays made. But there were some extreme highlights. Redfall, I'm all hype for it. I like what I saw. I watched that trailer like 3 or 4 times. The game looks good, and you can see it's a work in progress. It's only going to look better. I like my co-op games, and I like that it's still, a single player focus, like a campaign focus, a story focus. I just get to experience in co-op, so I'm looking forward to that. High on Life, like I said, it caught my eye at the showcase, but then the follow-up showcase on Tuesday, I was like, yep, this is my most anticipated game this year. I think it's still coming out this year, and it's going to be day one in Game Pass. It's the most unique game I've saw. Plague Tale looks dope, but the thing is, there was no new hype for it because I knew it was already coming. We saw last year. We know it's coming day one in Game Pass. So there was nothing new to get hype about it. I'm looking forward to it. It's one of my most anticipated games this year. We're just waiting on that release date. Forza, like I said, it's one of the best looking racers, if not the best looking racers. My only disappointment came is that it's not coming out this year. Flight Sim, you can miss me with that. Overwatch, even though I like Overwatch, I'm not hyped on Overwatch 2, but I'll play it. And technically,
I'll play it as well.
by the time that it releases,
I mean, it's free to play, so
Free to play,
I'm definitely
yeah.
gonna play. I played a bunch of Overwatch 1.
Oh, speaking of Overwatch, I think you can sign up for the beta start tomorrow.
Yeah, right. Beta's next week or 2 weeks.
A couple weeks from now, but you can sign up tomorrow and get access to the beta. So if you want to play Overwatch 2, sign up for that beta.
I have no interest in Ark. Scorn, even though it's an Xbox exclusive, I have like zero interest into that game.
Do it for the achievements, man.
Old man's the only one.
Yeah, it just looks boring, bro. It just looks boring. Like it's a cool design, but just the fuck am I doing?
especially when
It's
we're
like, what am
getting,
I doing in the game?
We're about to get like top tier horror games and like
Yeah, facts. Like we getting like 4 or 5 bangers back to back. It's like, what is this?
But Scorn comes out before all of those games, so that's the thing.
Oh, that's a bad start.
So they got a moment.
Yeah, it's a bad start.
They have a moment to themselves. Flintlock thought looked good. Minecraft Legends, I think, has the potential to be good. I like all Minecraft games that aren't the baseline game. So that's why I kind of have interest in that. I feel like the people that make Minecraft games that isn't the main Minecraft make better games.
You about to pull up an RTS?
It looked like it's a strategy game, but it looks like it doesn't. I got to see more of it. If it's like an RTS, then they can miss me. But right now, from what I saw, I thought it looked interesting. Lightyear Frontier, no interest. I have no.
Oh, that's that Blandrew game, right? The robot farming.
Yeah, the robot farming.
Yeah, I remember.
Gunfire Reborn.
Oh yeah.
The Gunfire Reborn is something I would try, but it didn't catch my interest. I know it's like a little goofy multiplayer looking game with like animals. The Last Case of Benedict Fox. Like at this point of the show, I was getting really bored of seeing these small ass games. As Dusk Falls. I mean, I know what As Dusk Falls is going to be. That is my token story game of the year. I like my my Telltales and my Life is Strange. This is kind of in that area, so I'm looking forward to that. And it has a multiplayer portion where you can have like multiple people playing like a story, so I'm interested to see how that works out. Naraka, like I said, I kind of got hyped for it in the second showcase, not because it's a whole battle royale, because they announced something I get to do by myself. Campaign.
Single player.
Yep, I ain't gotta deal with none of those musty ass people, and I can just play the campaign, and I'll just keep waiting for the chapters to come out, and I'll continue through that. But I like the fact that you create your character and you can put your own face in there. I know they demoed it with Phil Spencer's face, so I thought that was cool.
Hey.
Pentiment, like I said, you got to sell me on that. It's not the game I wanted to see from an Xbox first-party studio. It looks too indie-ish, and I'm pretty sure the story and the pull is probably going to be there. But looking at those visuals, no matter how many times I see it, it's like, man, this is not something. This should not be Xbox's big holiday game. It comes out in November. At this point, I don't have no interest into it. Grounded, I'm actually more interested in Grounded now. I know I can play it, but I don't play games while they're in preview. I'll try it and I'll stop. I won't invest in preview games. Now that it's a full game with a full campaign and whatnot, beginning, middle, and end, I'm jumping in because I like the Honey I Shrunk the Kids concept and all the stuff that you can do, all the stuff I've seen that you can do. I just wanted to see it done in a regular game, outside of the sandbox. In a regular game, I want to be able to play it, so I'm looking forward to that. And Obsidian, they make good games, right? You had Erebon is the one that's like, yeah, everybody keeps comparing to Forspoken, right? Is it that game or is
Flintlock?
Flintlock.
So Erebon must be that whatchamacallit game.
I think that was that.
It's a stealth game.
Origami, like the stealth killing game.
Yeah, like you were going into the walls as a shadow.
Yeah, it's a stealth one. It's a stealth one.
No, where's that game?
It's like Tenchu.
Okay.
It looked cool.
Like that. Yeah.
Okay, then never mind. The game I'm looking for is that Ravenlock game, the one that the guys that did Echo Generation. Because this time,
Ravenlock.
That game is not a turn-based, so that's just like an action, game, but it has that art style that they kind of mastered. So I'm looking forward to that. Unfortunately,
what's wrong with turn-based, man? What's wrong with turn-based?
I don't have the patience for that. And then Diablo 4, looks great. I mean, by the time it releases, it'll be an Xbox first party game. But it does look good. It was good to see Rod Ferguson there showing off Diablo the best that it could ever look. And I'm not even a fan of Diablo, so I'm not even going to front like I've been a fan of the franchise. I like the way that this looked. I'm willing to play it in co-op. I know these games got like a heavy co-op backing, and I know what Rod Ferguson is capable of. He will always show up with gameplay if he has to, and his gameplay is typically impressive, and it was in this case. And then like the Persona, not Persona, but the Wulong. I'm looking forward to it. You have the Bloodborne people behind it. It's Team Ninja, Koei Tecmo, I think, and it's coming day one on Game Pass. So I'm looking forward to that. That could be like potential. So
Did you like Neo? Did you like Neo, Smooth?
I haven't played Neo.
I think it's in the collection, isn't it? Isn't it part of the PS Plus shit?
I don't think so. I didn't see it.
It didn't show up in the when I was looking for it, but
try Neo out first to get a feel on how like Wulong will probably play like.
Is it in the Dynasty Warriors universe?
No.
Sure.
No. Well, Wulong. Okay, so what? The reason why people are because it has some of the aesthetics, but Wulong was like a main character in a couple of like the Dynasty Warriors game. He was always like in the front cover and shit like that, right? So then that's why people are like, oh, it looks like Dynasty Warriors, but I'm pretty like no Ninja.
In the universe though, it has to be in the universe. They're gonna use the characters, right? It doesn't have to be the same type of.
Wulong is a real historical person.
An actual real person. Oh.
Yeah, but
didn't they show Liu Bei at the end?
Thanks.
Who?
Liu Bei.
The bad guy.
Yeah. Like the Dynasty Warrior characters are based off of like real generals, like back in like the China Dynasty, hundreds of years ago and stuff like that. So they're basing it off of real characters, just like Neo 1, right? The main character and the villain. The villain was based off of a general in Japan, and then the main character was based off of actual Irish, Irish immigrant that came to Japan and became a samurai. So they usually use real historical figures for their games, even though their games are like totally fictional.
Yeah, and so overall, like I mean, like I don't have like the games that were shown were fine. I feel like they could have removed a lot of the fluff. I agree with Chris. They could have the show could have been an easy 50 minutes. And they could have focused on the core, which was Redfall, Starfield, some of the games that had substance, and I think they would have had a a better outcome. But looking at everybody's reaction, I see many polls like Jeff Keighley, Randall Thor, people took it better than I did, personally. I guess this was more of a diverse show. I mean, but I feel like there was a lot of things that weren't particularly for me, but I saw a lot of things that other people would enjoy. Like the Persona announcement was big, though I would have rather them do Final Fantasy, even though I like what I mean. That's just I don't like games just skipping Xbox just because. I feel like Persona should have been on Xbox, but it's here. The Kojima thing, it didn't come off as a surprise because I knew that was happening. But the fact that he just comes there and says, "Hi, I'm making a game for Xbox," and that's it. It just didn't. It didn't have that.
That was worthless.
Hit, you know what I mean? So it's
right.
Cocoon. I know it looks okay. I know it's from the guys from Limbo, but it's not from Playdead. It's from I guess a portion of that team who were a part of those teams and whatnot. But it's just a little different. And then, of course, Starfield showed off. And the crazy thing is, my issue with the showcase literally had nothing to do with Starfield or Redfall. Like, the opening and the closing of the show, I was perfectly fine. I thought I'm actually interested in Starfield now, which is weird. I got some of the things he said scared me, but then the follow-up interview with IGN. I was like, okay, then there's no way I'm visiting 1,000 empty planets, but I will beeline the story for like 30. I could deal with 30, 40 hours. If I could do 50, 60 hours in Assassin's Creed, I can probably beeline 30 to 40 hours in Starfield. But my goal is still to beat one of those Bethesda games before Starfield come out. So that's still on the radar. But
I don't think you're gonna. I don't think you're gonna fuck with it smooth.
Play Fallout 3, I guess. I don't know. It's probably like the best one.
Yeah, you can play
or
New Vegas.
No, New Vegas is from fucking
from Obsidian.
New Vegas is from Obsidian. He gotta play like
you gotta play
Fallout 3
or play Todd Howard. Either Fallout
Elder
3,
Scrolls
Skyrim,
something.
or like a
Fallout
Oblivion
4.
or something like that.
Yeah, play like Morrowind.
I think you will like Fallout more than Skyrim, honestly.
He'll probably enjoy Fallout 4 more than 3,
Yeah, 'cause
only
of guts
due
and
to
stuff.
only due to the shooting mechanics in 4 is better than 3. Even though I like 3's like VAT system and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Overall better.
Cause I started playing 3 since it got upgraded to like 4K, like 60 and stuff. And
I got upgraded.
Yeah, and I keep getting like I feel like two-shotted by these ugly ass things. Like after you get out like the subway or something, it's not the subway, it's like an underground train station, whatever. But you come up and there's these things, and they're just like beastly. It's like I don't know what I have to do to get at least beefed up a little bit because I'm not that far into the game. Like it was right after you had to fight that giant ass shit when you meet up with some other settlers and whatnot.
Yeah, you might just have to just leave.
Yeah.
But try to fast travel out.
Well, not even just Fallout, but Bethesda games where you just like you're early in the game and then some like brawlic shit comes out of nowhere. I'll never forget when I was playing Skyrim and this dragon just pulled up. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like, why is this happening right now? It's just like a random.
Yeah, the worlds are
it's
usually
just
dynamic
punishing.
and unscripted. Yeah.
So
But that's what makes it awesome.
So okay.
And also annoying.
So let's talk about Starfield. I want to know everybody's thoughts on that showing. I know everybody kind of put it off. We can start with Chris because I know he said he didn't want to talk about it right then and there. But let's get it. I'm gonna go get my ice cream.
Nah, you're gonna listen to this, man.
No, I'm here. I'm gonna go grab it right quick.
You gonna
Keep your head so you have a wireless headset.
Alright, so for anybody who doesn't know, right? I've been playing Bethesda, the mainline Bethesda RPG since Morrowind on the OG Xbox One, and ever since there, I played Oblivion, Skyrim, Fallout 3, New Vegas, Fallout 4, tried out Fallout 76 one time, and things like that. So I'm well versed with a lot of Bethesda's mainline. Like I'm talking about like the Todd Howard mainline RPGs, right? And the thing with those games, I've always had an issue with those games, right? Those, don't get me wrong, those games were fun, but the only reason why those games are fun, or the main reason why people play those games, is mainly due to the exploration and the RPG mechanics. You can go over anywhere you want. The maps is usually dense, filled with content, dynamic side quests. You know, like somebody was saying, a dragon would just appear, or like a mutant would appear out of nowhere in Fallout, and you just do some crazy epic side quests and shit like that, right? So the explorations in the content and stuff like that are the main primary reason why these people play these games. The other reasons, right? You never hear anybody talk about. These are the reasons people play these games, right? Which has always been my issues with these games. It's the gameplay and the combat, right? In the story. But I don't really care about the story that much. I don't give a fuck, right? But mainly the gameplay and the combat. Those games have always been clunky, very unsatisfying, when it comes to the combat loop and stuff like that. Again, the RPG mechanics are godly and how you build your character, but the moment-to-moment gameplay and combat has always been slow, sluggish, and unsatisfactory to me, right? Not trying to rain on anybody's parade. For me personally, but everything else they usually do pretty well, right?
Yeah.
So with Starfield, when I saw Starfield, it really like it just was like, yep, this looks like the typical Bethesda gameplay. It looks like and stuff like that. And I do appreciate that they're trying to go extremely ambitious, but personally, right, for me, I have no confidence in Bethesda to really pull off a game where they execute all these things well. Because they go over, they try to be too ambitious, it's going to take away things from other aspects of the game that should be important. There's always a give or take with these games, right? They're just like any game, right? But usually this game, there's always a give or take, right? And I don't fall for none of the PR talks. I don't fall for none of that shit. I don't believe Todd Howard in any fucking thing that he says or anything like that, right?
Don't
the
believe
whole
the
1,000
lies.
planets, right? Sounds great, but
No Man's
those
Sky.
planets, if those planets are uninteresting and they're not unique, I understand that they came out and said we're gonna have 4 major cities, and these cities are the biggest and most handcrafted things we've ever built, and it's gonna have 200Ks of dollar. Listen, that shit, quantity doesn't mean shit to me when it comes to the Bethesda games. It's all about the quality of the experience. So you can have a million fucking side quests or whatever, but if they're basic, generic, and cheap or whatever, or 1,000 planets, but if most of them are basic, generic, and cheap, I don't really care. Again, this is just me personally, right? So this is definitely a wait and see. Even the traders themselves, I saw issues like the dude walking around with his head backwards and shit like that. The enemy NPCs literally not reacting to being shot at all. You know what I mean? And being stuck in the air and stuff like that. Understand it's early footage. The graphics, of course, it's a Bethesda game, so I never commented on the graphics because Bethesda never really had good graphics in majority of their games. And even Skyrim had like really good graphics or anything like that. So the graphics I don't really care too much about. So that's not something really I'm not like harping on like other people. Even though that's not me making an excuse for them because they should still improve that. But like I said, since they try to go for so much ambitious and 100 systems and 1,000 planets and procedurally generating, it's gonna have 5,000 or 500K dialogue and all this stuff, and you're gonna be doing all these crazy shit. There's always drawbacks to those things. So to me personally, yes, it was an underwhelming showing of Starfield. It's exactly what I've been saying for the past couple months, like Dope as Jay said, right? For the past couple months or the year or so when it comes to the Bethesda games. So yeah, as of now, I don't have confidence in mainline Bethesda. The studios that I am hyped about from Bethesda are shit like id Software, Arcane, and then Obsidian. I know they're not Bethesda, but those are the RPG like Obsidian, Outer Worlds, and shit like that. I'm looking for way more forward to those, right? Those are Xbox first-party games, right? So this is not me just shitting on Bethesda because they're first-party. I always had this issue with Bethesda way before they got acquired with Xbox. So yeah, that's really my overall thoughts. It's just like, wasn't really too compelled by it, and I don't have confidence in Bethesda to deliver something compelling, personally.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody else wants to jump in.
Go ahead, EM. Or
You not hopping in? Because I'll hop in.
I'll go after you, Jay.
All right, so Starfield looked decent, not great. I like the RPG elements. I like the fact that they're expanding on a couple of their systems. Exploration is one thing with the variety of different planets you can explore. They are procedurally generated. I like the customization to your character. The fact that you can make bases, customize your ships. The space traversal look really, really good. And then like we explained earlier, like the random encounters that can happen inside of a Bethesda game can be fun but annoying at the same time. So we've seen that when you were flying in space, you had just 2 incoming ships just come out of hyperspace, and then you just fight them. And it was a pretty cool sequence. I think a lot of my issue with the game has to do with performance, the way the performance looked. Some stuttering, a lot of frame rate drops, looked really, really rough. Obviously the NPCs not reacting to combat in the most and it wasn't a good fashion in which they did it. Like you shoot somebody from the back, and it takes them like a second or two to get up and turn around and shoot back at you, on top of the fact that there's no blood or anything like that. I don't know. It like the gameplay from Bethesda games leave a lot to be desired, and you would think that this game that's been in development for a while and they're using a quote unquote new engine will fix that, but no, it's just another iteration of the same engine that they've been using for a while. Until they scrap this engine and just go with an entirely new engine, like CD Projekt Red did, I don't think none of these issues are going to be resolved, honestly. But I think the concept of Starfield is an interesting concept, and hopefully they can execute on different levels. But like we said, because the scope of this game is so huge, there are areas of the game that's lacking. So when you get to the area, when they go to the city, right? The plants, the trees, the leaves, there's no motion with it whatsoever. No breeze, there's no physics with it. It's just stale. It's just there. It looks weird, like a fake plant. And then you have tessellation in certain areas that's just flat. There's no curvature, but then other areas is detailed. So it's like, I feel like this game still needs more time. I wouldn't be surprised if it's delayed again. Will it be good? I think so. I think that this game definitely has an appeal for a lot of people who have been waiting for another Bethesda game for a while. But I still think Obsidian's going to do a way better job with Outer Worlds 2 than this game.
Well, I feel like this
Yeah.
game and
This-
Outer Worlds
this
are gonna be
game-
on two different scopes. They're doing be two different sizes.
Yeah, I mean, but like Outer Worlds 1 was way smaller than Fallout 4, right? Fallout 4 was a bigger game, but Outer Worlds was way more enjoyable for me personally. Than Fallout 4. This game, Starfield is going to take off on PC because of the modding, right?
Yeah, the
like a
modding
lot of
community.
people are going to fill in those planets, and they're going to come out with crazy ass fucking mods. So the modding community on PC is going to go fucking crazy. Like this is going to be a big ass game because of that. You know what I mean? But but like it's gonna be a big game, right? Like a lot of people are gonna enjoy it, right? And things like that. But to me, personally, instead of the 1,000 procedurally generated planets, personally, now we don't know how good they're gonna be. So obviously they're gonna have to show us more of that, right? So this is just me assuming, right? But I personally would have preferred like a 9-planet solar system where each planet is like very unique and handcrafted
and detailed.
And detailed, yeah.
Yep, I agree with that 100%. Obsidian, they just better, bro. I definitely preferred Outer Worlds versus Fallout 4. That's for sure.
I mean,
and
I
Vegas.
don't I like Outer Worlds because it was a shorter game. Like I didn't feel like I was gonna get like lost. Games like Fallout, Skyrim, I feel like you get lost in all these like side quests and it could feel like it could like never end. So I mean, I don't think Starfield is gonna be comparable to the Outer Worlds, even though like you know what I mean.
Yeah, it's comparable to No Man's Sky.
Yeah, I think No Man's Sky, Elite Dangerous.
How much No Man's Sky have you played? How much? No. I need everybody to answer this real quick. How much No Man's Sky have you guys played?
None, but them comparisons were
and then you can't
hilarious.
compare. I can't hear them comparisons then because you have to spend like 5 to 10 hours in the game before it even gets interesting.
Hey man, no, I'm just talking about those comparisons. I will.
I'm just saying.
It looked very similar. I mean, but
I'm just saying, if you're going to compare, I feel like you should have some sort of, play in it. Mm-hmm. Like I can look at plenty. I can look at plenty of games and say, man, I see this in that game.
Yeah, but when you have mechanics inside one game that's very similar or like cut
Yeah,
and
you can
paste
compare,
from
man.
another
Just like
game.
people
It-
compare
it-
Gran
yeah,
Turismo
they're
to
like
fucking
compare
Addict.
The
pace.
concept,
And
the
they didn't-
concept
and they
of
didn't-
both
and they didn't
games
play
are very
according,
similar,
so I don't
except
want to
that
hear that.
Fallout,
You can't compare.
not Fallout, Starfield
Yeah.
has an actual story behind it and more systems behind it. That might take the game further, but hey, procedurally generated planets. You're going there. You're mining materials. You can craft a lot of shit. Upgrade flying ships. This is literally
Okay,
what
you can
No
do
Man's
that in a lot
Sky
of
did
other games
at
too.
the
You can
beginning.
you can fly ships in a
No,
lot of
there's
games.
not many games where
It
you
is not
have
like
a lot of
that. It's not
procedurally
set up like
generated
that.
planets. It's
Really?
not the same.
Bethesda, don't they put
These two
procedural
games have
generation
a-
in all their games though?
No, we're
No.
talking about procedurally generated
Generated
planets.
planets.
Okay, that's
Planets.
what I'm saying. Procedurally generated planets. 3 words.
You would
Very
have to
simple to understand.
I'm
you would
sorry,
have
but
to
if you're-
compare different space games.
If you're gonna have,
In other words.
is Elite Dangerous? Isn't that procedural? I'm pretty sure, right? If you're gonna have
Yeah,
1,000
falls
planets,
within the same category.
if you're gonna have 1,000 planets, I don't expect them to handcraft 1,000 planets because one, half the people ain't gonna visit all of them, and two, there's gonna be do you believe that there's life on every planet that exists?
Well, because it's procedurally
No.
generated, you can
Right,
generate
so
many
that-
different forms of life.
But I'm just
So
saying,
that's what the
realistically,
creatures are there for.
if we
I
had-
just think these are silly knocks. I feel like these are silly. I feel like you guys are just bashing because it's popular. I literally don't
have
see.
an honest conversation about exactly how we feel, and because you disagree, or it's just a not because it's popular. I've had experience with Bethesda games, so this is not something that is like, oh, I'm just this is a lack of experience of somebody who doesn't play these games.
You said
played-
you said No Man's Sky. I asked you if you played No. I asked the whole panel who played No Man's Sky, and nobody
when
really
did I-
answered.
Hold on. Rewind the tapes. When did I bring up No Man's Sky one time when I was talking about Starfield?
Okay, maybe it was somebody else that I heard. I can't see everybody's photo who's talking. Half the people are talking at the same time. But how much No Man's Sky did you play? I'm just curious. Everybody
No, I
wants to
didn't play-
compare
I
it to
didn't-
No Man's Sky, but nobody's played that game.
Oh,
I didn't play Starfield
you
either.
look at the comparisons for that the IGN put up.
We were
Literally,
just-
you don't even have to play it to literally look and see that there are very similarities. I'm not saying that.
So are we
going
going
to
to say Rise is just like God of War then? Are we going to say that too then?
How many people have said that? Matter of fact, there was somebody who put.
Yeah,
a
there's
comparison
people that
by
have
War
said that.
What are you talking about? Like,
There are literally people that have said that though.
But
Which
it's
is funny.
silly. but to me it's silly because one game is clearly above the other.
okay, which
Oh,
one
damn,
is
you
clearly
feel like
above
that?
the other that you played? I hope you're not saying Starfield is above No Man's Sky when you haven't played Starfield, and yeah, you're asking us if we play No Man's Sky.
I mean, that's a fair that's a fair thing to throw out, you know. But what I'm saying is, it's just interesting to me that we haven't even got to play this game yet. But we're gonna say, hey, why even play it? Why not play No Man's Sky? It's the same thing. How is it the
No,
same thing if you
We're
don't
making that.
know?
We're not making that.
Let me
We're
get
not
in
doing
there.
that.
It's just jokes, bro. It's just jokes. Like the IGN
Okay,
shit, that was just jokes. And what was shown, they were showing comparable things about them. That is undeniable. But it was overall just jokes. Like,
Yeah, overall is jokes, but the compare.
So we're just joking right now?
Yeah, that's crazy.
I'm confused.
Yo, you can't compare. First of all, it's a survival game where you.
yeah, it's a survival game
It's-
versus
Right,
that's
it's
gonna be an
based off
RPG.
just getting
Right.
element. That's why when people was comparing it, I'm like, this is a full-fledged RPG versus a survival game. Like, what are we doing here? Of course, they got resources to make things do different shit. Like, yeah, but that's only one side that really do that, bro. Like, let's do
So
that.
you
and
know,
you
going
can
flying from planet to planet, procedurally generated, being in space, you're mining, you're discovering. It has
You
all those
missing Chris.
similarities.
Chris,
No, man.
what you?
Nah, I
What
don't
you-
want to. I don't want to hear that.
No,
bullshit
but-
that, like, nobody can sit here and
How's
look
it
at these
bullshit?
games and see the
How many
similarities.
factions? Can you
right?
name factions? and
But,
what's the- and
but
what's the
first of
point?
all,
No, of
No
course
Man's
they're not
Sky.
gonna be
Hold
one
up.
to fucking one. Of course, one that has gonna have.
Hold
more
on, no,
art-
I'm about to get Chris right here. I'm about to
Mechanics.
knock him out. I'm about
No,
to
no.
knock
Of
Glenn
course,
out.
one's gonna have.
You don't
way
want
more
it.
mechanics and shit like that, right? Starfield and whatever. But the flying in the ship,
Chill,
going from
bro,
planet
it's a
to planet,
prank.
mining and shit like that, first person, third person and shit like that. It's a lot of similarities. I don't see how
Yeah,
anybody
you
can look at
you
it,
going off of
even
what is
without
up
playing it, and say, "Oh, it's a completely different game." Come on, bro.
because it literally is a completely different game by
Yes, it is.
definition. Like, what are you
Okay,
talking about?
okay then.
Like,
Well, okay,
hell,
okay.
I had to stop
But
you
when y'all
right now.
saying,
Hold on,
okay,
no, hold
then
on. Let me
don't
get.
ask. Okay,
Hold
so
on,
then
give me the
don't ask
respect to let me
people
speak,
if they
dog.
play
Like,
No
you
Man's
tripping.
Sky if you haven't played Starfield to know it's a completely different game.
Right, but we played No Man's Sky. Crazy? Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, I played the
Like,
game.
you tripping? Yo, they literally had to give out refunds because they lied about the generated fucking planet.
Oh, now
So
about
get the fuck out of here with that bullshit. The fuck is you talking about, nigga?
now.
Ouch! My
Jesus
stomach.
Christ.
Like,
Okay.
you can't bring that up. We gotta wait till the shit come out. Wait and see, Mister. Wait and see. Like, what are you talking about?
Okay. Only thing I want to say, all I was gonna say is about like a true comparison that might be true for No Man's Sky versus versus Starfield is that y'all motherfuckers might be getting scammed on that shit for real, for real. That's the only thing comparison I'll say. Like y'all might be getting scammed in terms of
Hey, we know
the quality
Todd
of a
Howard.
game.
Todd
Yeah,
Howard,
you already
the
know.
capping.
You already know Todd Howard is a capper. 16 times the detail, by the way. Like you already know that man's a capper.
Sweet little lies.
Capperoni.
Talking about it just works.
Like
Fuck out of here.
Oh, man.
that's one thing
Y'all
I'll
were
say.
pissed.
Like, I mean, y'all
Do
may
not
be
die
just
on
you know,
that hill. Do not die on the Starfield
yeah,
hill,
like
man.
the
Don't do
thousand
that.
generated planets procedurally generated. How
hey.
fun is that gonna be? How varied are the planets are actually gonna be? It might
But
be
think
on
about it,
No
he-
Man's Sky
he
type of
literally
situation.
said there's gonna be planets with literally just ice, nothing else.
No,
Photo
I mean
mode
that might
planets.
be
like
like fucking 990 of those planets are gonna be barren, and 10 of them gonna have life.
that's fair.
Yeah, and then he said there's like maybe 4 major cities or something like that.
Yeah, but,
or maybe
but,
cities, and they're gonna be the
but
big.
those
Yeah, I
are
think there's,
probably
like,
gonna be cities associated with like your actual
The
story,
story,
though. Like,
yeah,
Yeah, your story and shit
and
like
everything
that.
else is gonna be trash.
Yeah, everything else is just gonna be, I guess,
Alright.
like side quest type stuff, and you know.
hold on. Shout out to Alabama Jones. Welcome to the Best Bot Basic. And B Staple says, why compare Starfield to non-RPGs like No Man's Sky and not actual space RPGs like Mass Effect and Outer Worlds? What sense does that make?
Because does Mass Effect have 1,000 procedurally generated games where you're flying ship to these planets and shit like that? You're flying ship to ship on different planets and mining and shit like that. But like it's just like the visuals and shit like that. And again,
Mass
we're not
Effect doesn't have
complaining,
space combat.
the gameplay mechanics, but just if you look at that IGN video, bro, it was doing a lot of the similar shit. Like there's no way. Like
We're just
regardless
talking
of
about
RPG,
similar mechanics. What's wrong with bringing up mechanics that are similar
Exactly.
between different video games? You even have video games that literally copy the systems that they have and improve upon it. And people will mention that and say, hey, there's nothing wrong with it as long as you do it well. We're just mentioning the fact that, hey, some of the systems that are in No Man's Sky are in Starfield, but Starfield has more elements surrounding the game itself. Like we
right,
know
more
that.
RPG mechanics.
That's
It's
what I'm
gonna have
saying,
more
like-
dialogue. It's probably gonna be a better version of that idea, right? I'm not saying this is a direct copy of No Man's Sky, but of
Dude,
that
it's not the same.
of that space exploration idea.
My God.
He's saying that, bro. He's saying it's not going to be a direct.
No,
copy.
let him
it's
think what he
not a
wants.
direct
Let him think what he wants. Go ahead.
Well, Ham, what was your takeaway on Starfield?
So, I personally thought, yeah, the game needs quite a bit more work, and it's good that they delayed it. But I was really excited for it. I personally thought the graphics on it were as good as they needed to be. I mean, I don't expect it to be as crazy as like a Horizon because it's a massive freaking game. It's huge. It's a lot bigger than a Horizon. Like things that you can do, like that's what they said, right? So that's what I'm gonna go based on. I also thought the whole hijacking of ships was really cool. Stealing people's ships was pretty cool. Being able to see other like enemies just drop down from drop ships to come attack you, I thought that was dope. The combat in space was pretty cool. the idea of getting into factions and stuff like that, I thought was pretty dope. I mean, all in all, I'm excited for this game. I'm extremely excited for this game. I think it's going to be really dope. Do I think it's going to come out and be smooth as butter? Probably not. Probably not. I ain't going to lie on that. It probably is not going to come out and be as smooth as butter, but I don't think it's going to be a Fallout 76. I don't think it's going to be a what was it called, Cyberpunk or anything like that. That's the whole point of this delay. Even though Cyberpunk got delayed, I don't know,
you think
20 times.
Think it's going to be a Forbidden West type of?
I feel like it's going to be something more like that. Yeah. so I'm not lying. I think it's going to be
more buggy than that for sure.
Probably because it's a bigger game. The bigger you make
it's made by probably because it's Bethesda.
Les Red said it's gonna be worse than Horizon Zero Dawn 60 frames per second joint.
What? No, you're talking. I thought you were talking about. No, you're talking about bugs.
Oh, that wasn't a bug, nigga. I didn't post it like 3 bugs.
Yeah, I'm saying it's a Bethesda game. It's gonna definitely have more bugs than Horizon Forbidden West. That's what I'm saying. Especially in COVID, like games that have been releasing recently have all been somewhat more buggy than you typically expect. Like Miles Morales released buggy, Horizon released buggy, Ratchet and Clank released buggy. Usually these games are typically like very, very, very solid. And considering this is a Bethesda game in COVID, guarantee you that's gonna be buggy as shit. It's gonna be it. You think Cyberpunk was bad? Okay.
I find it ironic.
Oh, he said people are telling.
I find it ironic that people are saying this game is probably going to be, trash or whatever. Yeah. But as soon as I say something in a positive note to hype it, you're like, "Why are you hyping it? You ain't even played it. That doesn't make any damn sense. So why are you bashing it? You ain't even played it."
I'm not going.
Make that make sense. Though.
I'm a bash on frame rates. I've seen.
I'm not going at you.
Fair.
I'm not going at you.
I'm not calling out any one specific person. I'm saying I've seen this on Twitter. I've seen this on YouTube. People bashing it, but then they turn around and say, "Hey, you ain't played the game. You shouldn't be hyped." Well, then why should I feel negative about it either?
I think originally people were. Well, I don't know if they've been telling you now, but I mean, originally people were saying, "Oh, you shouldn't be hyped," because originally we didn't see gameplay for it. I know that made, like, honestly, if you're obviously a fan of Bethesda, being excited for their next RPG makes sense. But like being hyped,
there were
or
people
to an
taking
extent,
it
like
too
people
far, talking about game of the year and shit.
Yeah. People that were doing that, it's like we haven't seen a lick of gameplay. Those people, prior to gameplay, I can completely understand why people would be like, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
Yeah, exactly. That's fair. That is fair. But I'm talking about after the showcase. Like just a few minutes ago, if you rewind the tape, just a few minutes ago, if you rewind the tape, somebody just got done bashing it and saying, "Oh, Bethesda, it's gonna be terrible." I mean, what? So then, why can't I say it's probably gonna be great? Or why can't somebody else say that exact thing without being like, "Oh, you haven't even played the game. What are you talking about?"
Because you're not playing Xbox, man. This is a dictatorship. This is not democracy. We tell you how to feel here. We tell you how to feel, man.
Hey, I said Bethesda.
Love, though. I don't care.
I said Bethesda, but I'm not gonna take anything away from you if you're excited for it.
What I'll say,
I'm very excited.
That's exactly what I said when I was talking about Bethesda. I was like, listen, this is how I feel about them, and I've had way more first-hand experience with all of their mainline RPG games, right, dating back from Xbox One. And for me personally, this is why I said, anybody that's hyped about the game, keep being hyped, right? Don't let anybody, no negative Nancy or whatever, however you want to view it, right? But just the same way, people are hyped about the game, right? And they'll be like, "Yo, this looks dope. I can't wait. It looks sick. Can't wait to build my base and go here and there," right? Other people can look at it and be like, "Yo, this shit looks like straight dog shit and mediocre." You know what I mean? So it is what it is. Everybody's gonna have their own opinions and stuff like that. But to me, it's like I hope I'm wrong. Like I said, when I say I'm not confident that Bethesda is really gonna deliver anything compelling for me personally. This is for me personally. That's why I'm more hyped with Obsidian, because I think they do make that the their Western RPG style, right? The Bethesda style of Western RPGs, you know, the first person and things like that, right? A lot of dialogue choices. I think Obsidian makes the better games, personally for me. So I'm more hyped about Outer Worlds and Avow than I am.
Like I said, I'm the most hyped about Ark, and I know nobody's riding with me on that, but I am.
Right? Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
stoked.
Yeah.
You riding that party bus, bro.
You
fine.
You like Ark and stuff like that, so I can totally understand like this type of game will totally be your jam and shit like that. You know what I mean? Like build your own base. You know what I mean? Good craft and probably get some companions to join you. You know what I mean? You have your own home.
Yeah, Ark
ship
is
and
all
shit like
about
that.
exploration for sure. So I see what you're saying.
Yeah, well, that's the main thing about Bethesda games. It's always been the main thing has been the exploration and the dynamic, the way the you know you be walking like in Skyrim, you be walking around, then all of a sudden you find a cave and there's fucking vampires in there. Then they bite you and you turn into a vampire and you have this whole quest line about being a vampire or some shit like that. So it always had like cool dynamic things, and that's what always made those games compelling and fun. My main issues with those games is just the combat loop and the gameplay itself has never been really that satisfying for me, personally.
Now to go to the other direction, my knocks on Starfield so far has to be the gunplay looks a little dry.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I didn't notice a whole lot of kickback after you shoot the gun and stuff like that. And to me, like gun sounds in video games are a big deal. So like if I go back to something like, let me just randomly bring up a game. What's that? The game by THQ Nordic, Biomutant. Fun game. Really pretty. But once you hit somebody in that game or shoot a gun, it sounds like you're hitting sticks together. It's not punchy. It sounds just weird. And yeah, that's kind of the way I kind of looked at Starfield a little bit when I seen that gun. I was just like, that could be a little bit better. So hopefully they polish that up a little bit. That the whole thing with like the head backwards thing, I thought that was weird.
I thought that shit was funny,
the fact that you threw that in a showcase is really ambitious.
They're like, damn, that was probably their best selection of gameplay. Like, bro, like it's got so many bugs. This is the best we got. Fuck it.
And whatchamacallit? I think Dope is Jay said it, or somebody remind me. I'm not sure, but whoever said about the vegetation and how it seemed way too still. Yeah, I'm with you on that. I was like when they showed up to the main city, I think it was like Atlantis or is that right?
I don't know what it's called, but that's the first major city we see, and they're walking through it, and it just looked like a dry plant that had no motion to it whatsoever. It's like it's a big city. You should expect some environmental detail, a breeze hitting, foliage moving, things like that, and it wasn't there. It was just dead. I'm like, what's going on? Bro, it's a fucking pseudo Earth. Like what?
I mean,
Did the humans there?
Yo, Smooth.
Dude said, how do you know there's no wind on the planet?
Hey,
What the fuck?
Yo, Smooth is OD.
That's
the biggest reach I've heard from you this long, bro.
Well, hold on, we got one at a time, right? But I don't entirely remember that part, but were the people walking around, like the humans, were they walking around with spacesuits, or did they have like were they walking around breathing and shit, right? Dope.
Yeah, no, you know, I'm kind of interested in rewatching that part because I don't really remember if they were fully. I don't think they were fully suited because
they were not suited.
You went to that. You went to that building and everybody had.
They
have air.
That means there's wind in that planet.
I mean, if you don't have air, how's it
wind?
plants?
That's oxygen. Oxygen and wind is different.
No, I mean, but it has. I mean, of course, like the oxygen in the air. But usually, if there's a planet that has that shit, it's going to have some type of windage. It doesn't matter. We'll see what happens. It doesn't matter.
My thing is, what I'll say is about Starfield, right? I actually like the visuals. I don't know what filter that they're using. There's this filter that makes the game look like
chromatic aberration.
It's supposed to look. You know what I mean? It's not like super shiny or anything. It looks like It's like they're. I don't know. You ever watch like shit related to astronauts and they have that look?
Color fringing, chromatic aberration.
I don't know. That sounds like a technical term for like graphics, but I'm just saying it just looks like accurate. It just looks accurate for what the game is, right?
Looks spacey is probably chromatic aberration.
Okay. I think, and I like the way it looks in some shots in some locations. The game looks very, very good. I mean, it looks like this is going to be a 30 frames per second effort, which kind of sucks.
Yeah, I want to talk about that.
I want to talk about
that so bad. I'm waiting patiently. I want to go with my part, but go ahead.
No, hold on.
No, keep going. No. Let's move going. I want to go. I want to go after.
No. Real quick, right? So, 30 FPS shit, right? Which Todd Howard said he prefers his games to be 30 FPS because they go for more immersion and things like that, right? So they like to build their games off of 30 FPS, right? And this game might hopefully they have a performance mode, right? At least on the Series X or whatever. But all those people who are gonna play these games that told me that they will never play another 30 FPS game ever again, you're getting fucking exposed.
No.
You're getting exposed, bro. You're getting
Yes.
You
know why? Because
sounds like somebody's guilty.
If there's
Smooth is in here right now.
If there is no performance mode option on the Series X, I would just play it on PC. And this is the only way. The only way I wouldn't do it, right? If the performance is so bad on PC, you know how games you get target a higher frame rate on PC, but that shit is so inconsistent and like bad frame times. Then I would say, all right, I'll go and I'll just stick with the 30 instead of like a constant 44, 42 frames per second game. You know what I mean? So we got to see. But you
thankfully you have
now.
a settings menu for that.
Man, Smooth's room is about to be on level 9.
Ain't no settings menu help Elden Ring, right?
Nah, that was stutter from shader compilation. But that doesn't. But 60 FPS, that shit was. You could be 60 at like 6K resolution. Like that game's not hard to run. That was just shader compilation.
Smooth, you better you better grab a cold wet towel before you turn that game on in your room on the PC.
Oh yeah, and about that, bro. Like, whether you're like, I don't know if you're talking about the components or your room itself, but your room is gonna get hot no matter what you do. Like, even if you get more fans, that's gonna cool your system.
You're pushing out more heat faster.
Yeah. You're just gonna push more heat faster. It's heat transference. Either the heat's gonna be in your case and gonna fill your room slowly, or the heat's gonna be pushed out of your case quickly, and the heat's just gonna be in your room fast as fuck. Like,
yeah. When you get more fans, you better be talking about like box fans for your room.
Yeah, like in your room, not in your like in your PC, in your room. Like, unless you want to try out undervolting, so you're like you're pushing less wattage out your GPU. Yeah, I mean, your room just gonna get hot, fella. It is what it is. But yeah, I don't know if you're done, Smooth.
Yeah, I'm done. Go ahead. I know you wanted to talk about the whole frame rate thing. So
okay, so yeah, Starfield. That's showing. All right, let's get a couple things off. Graphically, it looks good for a Bethesda game. It looks improved over Fallout 4. It looks improved over Fallout 76. It's improved. It's not great looking. It's just improved. Combat, it looks fucking identical to all the rest of the games, which is funny as hell because when I originally saw the showcase, I was like BG. When I saw the combat, I was fucking laughing. Like, literally, like, nothing is improved. They've been working on this game for 5+ years, and they didn't improve anything about the combat.
They could have pulled people from other studios, like id Software.
Yeah,
like, bro,
like, it looks so funny. It was when I first saw it, I was like, bro, really?
No improvement. I've been saying this about Bethesda. How long have I
been saying this shit for years since we first started this podcast?
They own they're on Creation Engine 2, and that shit, they did nothing with the combat. That shit is OD. They were alerted by the guy's presence before either of the enemies even turned around. Like, oh my, like, and then like when the guy just felt like
turned around.
And then like I saw that. I was like, no, he didn't turn around. He said he he said a word before he turned around. He was alerted before he turned around. But like, oh my god! And then like him shooting him, like no, the guy didn't react to any of the bullets, and he just fell to his death. The first guy that was killed, that was fucking hilarious. It was absolutely hilarious. And like Hans said, like the there's no like the bullets didn't have, or the what do you call it? The guns didn't have any weight to them, and it was just, I don't know, it just looked.
It was bland.
Like typical,
it was a bland,
bland shooter. It looked bland as fuck. Like the enemies sometimes reacted to gunfire, and sometimes they didn't. And then there was one point where it was like one of the last enemies. The fucking guy was walking in the opposite direction of the fucking enemy. It's like, bro, hello. This is in the showcase of your game. This is what you're showcasing as the most important game. The AI is not even looking at you. Like, what is happening?
Yo, this dude had his whole head backwards.
And then, like the fucking NPCs having their heads backwards. Like, it's like this game. Honestly, like, don't get me wrong. I want to play this game because I need something to hold me over until like a better game. RPG comes out with a Avowed.
You just want to laugh while playing it.
I mean, I do. But I'm waiting for Avowed. I'm waiting for Avowed and Outer Worlds 2. And this would be the closest thing I can get until then. So I'm just fucking waiting. But it's like, oh my God, bro. And the saddest part about it, like, I'm probably going to buy this game because I don't want to use the fucking Game Pass launcher on PC because it's fucking trash. So I'm going to probably buy this game. Hopefully I get it on CD Keys for like $40 because I do not want to pay more than like $45 for this game.
You better sell that high C. You better sell that high C of stars.
High C of stars? What?
They sell the high C's.
Oh no! I'll buy it. I'll just buy the key. Unless the reviews are terrible, then I'll try it with the pirated version. But like,
I'm joking. Honestly, we don't condone pirating.
I do. Fuck that shit. But like, oh my God, the frame rate in the game, it was constantly under 30 FPS.
Oh, it was under 20.
Like, oh my God. That was the only game that was like consistently like from the performance to the bugs, basically everything about that game in terms of visual quality and as a presentation, it was just terrible.
Bless Red, that shit was supposed to come out this year.
It was supposed to come out this year. Like, it was the only game that was like had like a significant quality, like a significantly worse in terms of a presentation than every other game that they showcase in the same fucking presentation. And that is their mainstay game. That is their most important game in the next 12 months, which is fucking insane to me. It is absolutely insane that really is the quality of the game. And that's why I'm like, okay. I'm at a point where and also the fact that Todd is like talking about 30 FPS and he hasn't clarified since that interview that, there's going to be a 60 FPS mode, which is kind of sketchy to me. It's kind of sketchy.
I think,
but say?
No, go ahead, man. I'll let you finish. My bad.
But I'll say if it does have a 60 FPS mode, I can feel it in my gut that it's not going to be a stable 60. I feel it in my gut. I feel it. I know it in my gut. It's not going to be stable. I know it. What?
Who's going to play it on the Series S?
Good luck,
who have
bro.
A Series S.
Good luck, bro.
I really think.
No, I know. I'm talking about a hearing.
Oh no! Yeah.
Overreacting?
Logan.
You're absolutely.
I think you guys are overreacting. Like you guys are acting as if the game comes out tomorrow or something like that. It's like I don't understand when games have
what was showing. Of course, they have plenty of times to fix it, but we'll see. Yeah, but like I said, like
in general though, when we get like a presentation of a game that's coming out in the future, like our games are not allowed to be a work in progress when they're revealed. Like I for some reason everything has to be
smooth,
like
smooth.
ready for retail.
This is Bethesda.
Smooth.
Bethesda. They
exactly.
have a track record.
That's exactly what I was going to point to. History, Smooth. Look at history. Look at their prior releases. Like you want to be the optimistic one, but like literally look at the prior history of these releases. Fallout 4, it released and it literally dropped to 0 frames per second. It froze for multiple seconds on the Xbox One. For multiple seconds. Like, it was buggy and broken and shit. Skyrim crashing like crazy. Fallout 76 basically being a broken, unplayable mess at release. Like, I understand that you want to be optimistic, but let's be realistic. Like, looking at their prior games and looking at how this game currently looks, there's no way that this game is going to release in a good state.
Did you have any problems on PC?
What?
Did you have any problems on PC with Fallout 4?
He wasn't on PC.
I didn't play Fallout 4 on PC. I played it on PS4. It came out in like 2016. I played it on PS4.
Issue with it back then? Did PC gamers have an issue?
I'm pretty sure they did.
They 1,000% did. They 1,000% did. 100%.
The only reason why I asked that because you said on Xbox One it went down to 0 frames per second, and I was wondering, was it like that on PS4 and PC?
No. The Digital Foundry showcase, they did it. It was like in the same area where there was like a zombie, not zombie. I forgot what they're called in the Fallout, but there was basically like a zombie coming towards them or something in a hallway, and the frame rate literally dropped to 0 frames per second on Xbox, and it was like 7 FPS on both. Are unplayable, completely unplayable.
Right. All three of them were unplayable.
But the fact, the fact that they released that product though, they released that product. Okay. And the thing is, it's like,
remember Fallout 76, right? Like, and I know people are like, well, that was a main team, that was another team, right? But they were still using the same engine. And I remember, I don't know if it was Digital, somebody else, right? They did a breakdown, and they were showing bugs and glitches that have been present in that engine since fucking
for 20
Oblivion.
years.
Yeah,
they had bugs and glitches in 76 that are literally present in the game, or that were in games 20 years prior. It's like Bethesda have no idea as to quality or quality assurance. They don't know what they don't know it exists.
So why
they don't know it exists.
Why do they rate their game so high if they have all these problems? Like outside, because the only thing everybody try to run to is Fallout 76. But outside of Fallout 76, why are these other games rated so high? If they all share these same bugs and game breaking issues, I mean, you would think that would have impact on,
because at that time
reception.
they was so big and
they're so enamored by the
that
exactly.
A lot of people forgave the issues.
Exactly,
just like Elden Ring, right? Like a lot of Elden Ring issues were forgiven as well too, with the performance and stuff like that. So
yeah, it's they're all enamored by the experience of trekking through the bugs and the problems and performance. That's basically what it is. They're enamored by the experience of the story and the exploration, and the side quest and being able to do whatever the fuck you want, kill whoever the fuck you want. They're enamored by that experience more than they care about bugs and glitches. And it's been, to an extent, it has been showcased. Like ACG has talked about it multiple times on this podcast, where like reviewers sometimes they don't even like really mention like bugs and shit in a review and shit.
They definitely don't. Like Cyberpunk. Oh my god, that
literally
was fucking insane. How
look at Cyberpunk
people review that game, and then as soon as the game dropped and we play it, it's like, oh shit, what the fuck is this buggy mess? And people went back to the comment section of these reviews and were like, how come you never mentioned this shit in your fucking review? You recommended the game, you literally sold us on the game.
Yeah.
Fuck that. Didn't it let off was like a 91 on Metacritic or some shit?
Yeah, it was in the 90s. Yeah.
Who's that dude? Yang Ye? Fuck that guy.
Yo, he deleted his shit.
Fuck that guy. He lost all credibility to me.
Yo, go find a
Cyberpunk video. I have the clip.
That shit's deleted, bro.
I have the fucking clip.
Yeah.
Fuck that guy.
Yeah, so it's basically like they're all focused on experience, and like we've seen literal showcases of it with Cyberpunk, where like a game reviews crazily high, and the actual experience of the game is enamored by bugs and shit, bugs and glitches and performance issues. Like ACG has literally talked to some of these reviewers, and be like, "Huh, this game is like really buggy. Have you experienced any of these?" They'd be like, "Yeah." You didn't report about them in your review? No. Why would I? And they literally responded with, "Why would I?" It's like, that's a part of the fucking experience. Hello, you're reviewing the game, but it's like
making on like a day one update or some shit like that.
Yeah, it's like, it's fucking ridiculous. But all in all, it's like, I think this game sorely needs a fucking delay. I think it sorely needs a delay. And will I think it actually get one? I don't know, because that's terrifying considering who they are owned by, Xbox. Microsoft literally didn't want to delay Halo Infinite until they received incredible backlash for how we perceived it. So it's like, are they gonna delay it?
They're not gonna.
Are
delay
they
this
not?
Game. This
I
game
don't
is too
even
big.
fucking know.
That's the thing. This game is too big. It's too big.
It's
for
too
it to be
big.
Delay it, bro.
And they have
It's already
they
been
have
delayed. It doesn't have a
too
release
big.
date.
no. I think it needs to be delayed further. They're aiming
Well,
for
they
the
said
next
for the
they're
first
aiming for
half.
the next 12 months. I think it needs to be delayed past the 12 months.
How old do you think that demo was that they showed off? Do you think it's
Oh.
a week old, or do you think it's?
Oh, we're not doing this because I'm tired of.
It's because these are vertical slices, right? Or like scripted demos that they make for these showcases, right?
That's what everybody said.
Right.
It was scripted
Here's-
and
here's
sizzle
The thing
reel.
is, like, they try to
Hold
put.
on, hold on. Here's
Okay.
the thing, Smooth. Every Bethesda showing, right? Whenever they show off the game, their games usually show off way better than the final release product. You know what I mean? So it's
Yeah.
and shit like that. You know what I mean? It's really just to, like, that's why I said, like, I have no confidence in them right now. Now, obviously, if it comes out and, you know, obviously it's not going to be bug free. There's going to be bugs and shit like that, but hopefully nothing too crazy. It's mainly going to be down to the performance and if it runs well and it's transitioning to planets as well and things like that. But this is like, it's Bethesda's MO, man. And plus they're talking about 100 systems, 1,000 planets,
planets.
That is
You know what?
Like,
We're being too
if you
hard in
really-
the game, man. 1,000 planets, like that's special.
Oh my God.
I appreciate that they're really trying to go all in and very ambitious and stuff like that. And I think there's just at times where they may want to do way too much, and therefore other things are going to suffer because of it.
You can never do too much, Chris. We're being too hard right now, man. Listen, 1,000 planets, expansive customization. Yo, we're being too hard in this game, bro.
Bro,
Let's
okay.
let's take it easy.
Hold on.
Who cares about playing at 20 frames per second? It's all right.
All right, Smooth. Let's be honest here. If you're gonna showcase your game on a platform and it's gonna be viewed by many of viewers, and you want it to be, wouldn't you want it to be shown in the best light possible? That's typically how games are supposed to be
No,
portrayed.
man, it's only up
we
from
got-
here,
You
bro.
want
Would you guys rather-
to sell the customer. Right?
Would you guys rather them show another CGI of it instead?
No, I want to see how the game actually looks.
All right,
Never
so
even
we
got
got
CGI.
it.
So that's what I'm saying. But Smooth, Smooth, what you just said, you basically said, "Oh, how old is the build?"
Yeah.
It like the how old the build is I don't know how old the build is, but the crux of the situation is developers want to show their games in the best possible light. And guess what? That light,
at the time,
it
that was the best
looked
possible.
ugly as shit.
It did not look ugly. I think you're capping.
You're
I thought it looked
capping.
pretty deep.
You
I thought that
capping,
game
bro.
looked
Yeah,
pretty
these
sick.
dudes
I'm not
just
gonna lie.
they be on
Now,
Bro.
That's
I'm
mad
not,
bad.
I'm not
Now we-
talking.
now we
I'm not
capping.
talking just graphically. I'm
Yeah.
talking about a bug and performance standpoint,
Man,
bro.
but look about it. Look at who
Bro,
pointed out
that's
that.
just-
Wait. Hold up.
Listen, Smooth. If they're going to showcase the game in the best possible light, and you can see multiple bugs within that showcase, that's a fucking problem.
All right,
do you not
PC
understand that?
gamer.
Who
for
found
you,
the
bro.
backwards
This
head?
is a-
You or somebody who zoomed in like after the showcase?
My guy, it's in the game. It's
All
in
right,
the
but
showcase regardless.
Did you see it on your free? When you watched it, did you notice that yourself, or somebody had to point that shit out to you?
No, but I did notice that the fucking guy was walking in the wrong direction.
It doesn't know, but I mean, whether we
game.
find
It's
out
a
after-
video
And the people and they were
The point is, it was-
the point is
It's a
like,
video game.
Smooth. That's besides the point. You're trying to switch,
trying to
like,
do a
move the
gotcha.
goalposts. You're moving
I'm
the
not
goalposts.
moving
That's
the
nothing to do
goalposts.
with the
I-
problem.
like-
The crux is the bug is in the game. That's the crux. It is in their best presentation that they showed. Period. That's the problem.
Smooth.
All right,
Yeah,
I got
that is
a
the
question.
problem.
I got a
Hey,
question
hey,
for you.
Smooth.
Hold on, I'm about to put them in the trap. Better showing, right? 2020 Halo Infinite gameplay or 2022 Starfield gameplay?
Halo. What?
No,
At least the game
no.
is running properly.
No.
Halo.
They ain't running properly.
Okay, hold on.
Okay.
Halo graphically looked terrible, but functionality wise,
It worked.
It did what it fucking supposed to. AI
You seen the
was
sizzle reel,
actually
man.
doing what they were supposed to. Guns, sounded like they were supposed to. Everything was doing what it was supposed to. The problem with Starfield is there's bugs and glitches out of this world, and the performance is not even there. Like
Smooth. You even said it yourself on this podcast. We got receipts. You would have played that version.
AI is not even doing what they're supposed to.
I would have played that version of Halo.
Exactly.
I had no beef. I'm just saying though, the big of a deal that you guys all made about Halo. It's like, okay, it's like the worst thing possible, and you telling me I
did not make the biggest deal of Halo. I seen little issues. Other people blew out of proportion. Starfield, you can't sell me on that. You can't sell me on that.
Like graphics are one thing, but fundamental problems with AI and bugs like
There's
that.
so much to unpack, but let's start with Dope Boy. Dope Boy, you beat any Fallout or Bethesda game?
No, there's a reason. This is the reason why I haven't. Because those games
hold on. We do this shit to Smooth all the time. And nobody lets Smooth come back on that with that bullshit you about to say. So let's just go back and listen to people who actually like Bethesda games. You know,
Bethesda games you beat.
I'm not. All I'm saying is I'm using y'all own words against y'all.
No, if you're gonna use against me, I'm gonna use against you too.
All I'm saying is I see a lot of people talking about it.
So why are you trying to defend it then?
I'm not defending it. I'm pointing out the shit that y'all doing. Y'all say this shit to Smooth.
Yes, you are. You trying to defend this shit like you out here. You about to beat this game. You gonna fall asleep on the first 10 minutes you playing it. I know you are. Don't do this.
Yo, you know NickBanks ain't beating this shit.
He's definitely not beating this game.
You're playing it. What are you talking about?
I have a better chance of beating this game than you.
Yo,
listen. Go ahead.
Honestly,
what you say?
I think Smooth's gonna force himself to beat it, but I don't think he's gonna feel it that much.
I don't know. From what I see right now,
Yeah,
it looks interesting. It got my interest. You know what I mean? My most anticipated game for next year right now is Redfall. I'm looking more forward to Redfall over Starfield, but I am interested in Starfield. I didn't think I was gonna, like Starfield from base because it's like okay, but
because you don't like Bethesda. You don't like Bethesda games.
I'll just end my like rant with this, because this is a Bethesda game, and is a game that is produced by by Microsoft, who is, you already know, loosey goosey with their management, and because that the game is releasing within COVID, which I've already talked about and explained how even the most top tier, the most can't think of the word, polished games typically are releasing with bugs. Horizon, Ratchet and Clank, Miles Morales, Returnal. Like all of these games have released with bugs, which are not typical of said games. Considering Bethesda, Microsoft is the management, and it's releasing in COVID, this game's gonna be fucking insanely buggy. Mark my fucking words. It's gonna be just look at the history. Look at history. Look at what's happening currently within the last 2 years of games releasing, and look at the management of Microsoft. It's a recipe for disaster, basically. In terms of bugs and releasing performance problems and all that shit, mark my fucking words.
All right.
Just mark my words. It's going to be...
I'm marking them.
Maybe worse than 76. Maybe worse.
Maybe, okay.
There's a good chance. There's a good chance it's going to be worse than 76.
Hold on, it's going to be the fact that Smooth is interested when he's usually not interested in these games mean that this game is going to turn out terrible.
But like literally, I'm just using history, like factual data, and
it's a totally
common
different
sense.
game, bro. That's not common sense. It's a different game.
Shout out to Maxie for the $10
Nick,
super chat.
I don't said the same thing about 76.
Nick, if you don't understand where I'm coming from with this information that I'm literally portraying to you, I don't know what to. I can't help you.
Did you play Elder Scrolls Online?
I can't help you.
He hasn't played it.
No, and it's not made by the. It's not made by the same team.
Was it the same way? No. Okay.
It's not made by the same team.
Niggas don't know what they talking about.
It's not made by the same team. The fuck?
Is Elder Scrolls Online crossplay?
I don't know. Shout out to
I
Maxi,
don't know,
though.
but yeah, it's not made by the same
chat.
team.
I gotta get the super chat. Shout out to Maxi for $10. He said, Chris asked the panel why ever since Sony has had the COD deal, why have several COD games gone into PS Plus but none into Game Pass? What? Hold on. Let me read this question. Chris asked the panel why ever since Sony has had the COD deal, why have several COD games gone into PS Plus but none into Game Pass? Modern Warfare 2 won't be on Game Pass day one unless Xbox buys out the deal. Make the bet. What is he talking about?
One
There's
company.
never been a Call of Duty on PS Plus.
No, it has, but it's been late. Like MW2 Remastered did, World War II did.
Wait, they actually went into PS Plus?
Yeah.
Yeah, and
oh, you weren't playing PS4 back then. It's okay.
Black Ops 3 and Advanced Warfare came to PlayStation Plus one time, but that was well after. But I think he just answered his own question because PlayStation has the marketing deal, right? And Microsoft they don't own Activision right now. So, but I'm pretty sure after the deal, we're definitely gonna see a bunch of Call of Duty games come to Game Pass.
Yeah.
So quick, I want to get this off my chest real quick. So, so I hear what you're saying, Blessed. I hear you on the idea of, this game might need to be further delayed. You said that, Blessed, right?
Yeah.
All right. So I'm with that. Like, maybe it does need a little extra time. Extra time to me at this point wouldn't hurt it, right? The thing that I kind of have to, push back on at all is the whole 1,000 planet thing, because this is an exploration game. So why are people bitching about 1,000 planets?
Oh, 1,000 planets are great, man.
Well, it's not the fact
1,000 planets of what content? That's basically.
It's because people
we don't know.
We don't know, but people are skeptical that those 1,000 planets are going to be something unique and interesting for them to explore.
Yeah, especially since it's procedurally generated.
Obviously, they have plenty of time to show more, and they'll be like, no, whatever procedurally generated, tech that we have is going to make these planets very robust and interesting and stuff like that. Obviously, we don't know that, and they're going to have to show more than that. But people are just skeptical that, because we've heard the same thing before, right? And I'm sorry, I have to bring this up. I know y'all don't like the comparisons or anything like that, but I got to bring up No Man's Sky. We heard the billion planets and, you're going to go to every star system and all that shit. We just heard it before, and we heard, BS promises from Bethesda before, and then people are just skeptical. That's what it really is. It's not because it's like, of course it's an exploration and that's what people are going to want, but I just think it's just people are just wondering, it's like, okay, 1,000 planets, yeah, that sounds cool, but is that gonna how interesting is that gonna be? And I think that's where that comes from.
Yeah, it's like how many games that have procedurally generated planets are actually successful and actually are liked because of the procedurally generated, or are actually liked because of the procedural generation. Like the games that typically have procedural generation, they typically don't do well. Typically, they don't do well.
Maybe Bethesda will be the first one to break that chain. Who knows?
Especially AAA games, they typically don't do well. Procedurally generated games, they typically don't do well. So there's that.
Except Returnal.
But yeah, so it's like it's a perfect storm for disaster in terms of bugs. Like I honestly find it a bit surprising that somebody. I mean, you can think however you think, but I find it a bit surprising that someone can feel that, oh, this game is not going to have that many bugs, considering what I just said in terms of who's developing it, and considering we're in COVID time where QA has been very shaky in COVID time. I don't know if it's not enough QA testers or whatnot, but quality assurance has been very shaky in the last couple of years for games, like all across the board. So considering that, and it's made by Bethesda, and considering they're trying to make it very big and very expansive, their biggest game yet, I mean, I don't know how anyone else can see it any other way, but it looks like a recipe for disaster in terms of bugs. And
I personally don't see the issue with this whole procedurally generated thing, because Borderlands series was procedurally generated. Minecraft was a it's not my kind of game, but it's a banger for a lot of people.
Well,
That game is procedurally generated. No Man's Sky,
the
Starbound, Stardew, I mean,
generated.
Valheim.
What about
I mean-
Borderlands was procedurally generated? There
Yeah,
is.
No Man's Sky had to
the
adjust their
only-
procedural generation because their algorithm
only
wasn't
thing-
good at first.
Well, the only thing that was procedurally generated in Borderlands was the
Was
weapons.
the weapons, right? Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I thought.
Not-
the
not-
weapons,
not-
not
not-
the actual terrain
not the
and like.
level and
yeah.
stuff like that. And those other games, yeah, I mean, there's some games that even Returnal, right? And I love Returnal. That was one of my game of the years last year, right? It had procedural generation and stuff like that, but
And
it was
to
on
an
a
extent,
much smaller
it's
scale. Yeah, it wasn't, and whatever tech that they did, they made sure that it still felt like unique and different. Like what the whole thing was, this game in particularly, it's gonna be fucking huge, right? It's gonna have they said 100 systems, and that's what like people are skeptical about. You know what I mean? But we'll see. I mean, like I said, like I know this entire show seems like we're all just being negative, right, towards Xbox, which we are.
100%.
Yeah, we are.
I'm being realistic,
But-
honestly.
but-
I'm looking at history, bro.
yeah,
I'm looking at history. Like,
Right. It's just looking at history and stuff like that. But it's just Bethesda themselves. Like I said, like this has nothing to do because they're I'm a pony and they're Xbox exclusive. Nah, because I'm looking forward to whatever Obsidian's coming out with. I'm looking forward to Fable. Hopefully they get that together. So it hasn't really nothing to do with this. Personally, whether Bethesda was bought out by Microsoft or not, and they still sold the same shit that they're showing now, even running on the PS5, I would feel the exact same way.
yeah, absolutely. I saw fucking Xbox Uni said, if this game was coming to PlayStation or was Elden Ring, no one would have a problem. Bullshit. No fucking bullshit.
No, some people, some people are like that. Some people-
I kind of hear what he's saying
Hold
though, a
on,
little
hold on.
bit.
I
Some
say
people-
I will feel exactly the
people-
same.
No,
I
some
would feel
people
exactly the
absolutely will flip flop, right? Absolutely, there's PlayStation dudes that are hypocrites, and that if that game was available on PlayStation, they wouldn't be as loud as they are, in terms of these games and shit like that. But that's not the case with like me, and I know other people that actually play these Bethesda games. But then there's people that are really hyped. Like I said before, this game on PC with the mods is gonna take off. This shit's gonna go.
Oh yeah, they're
crazy with the mods.
gonna fix a
Yeah.
lot of shit
They're
that
gonna fix it, yeah.
Bethesda is gonna break. They're gonna fix a lot of what Bethesda's broken, just like the last 20 years of PC games coming to PC from Bethesda. They're just gonna fix the game and make it better. But yeah.
One 100%.
Probably because
Yeah, I can see.
reviewers don't give a fuck
can see
about
that.
bugs. Like,
Yeah,
like we talked about.
I could see it be nominated, but Breath of the Wild 2 and 16 going to destroy everything next year. Anyway, go ahead. My bad, Smooth.
My mic was muted this whole entire time.
Oh shit! Whoops.
My bad. How much word did I? Because I paused when y'all was on the shit. I don't even know what the hell.
You have not been muted this whole time, have you?
Not for the whole
Bruh.
entire podcast, but I don't know if you guys heard like my background. There's like yelling in the background. I ended up muting for that, but ever since I started.
Oh
talking,
yeah, somebody brought out that Bonobo thing.
Oh
from,
yeah,
like,
yeah. Xbox, bruh, yeah. Microsoft has some of the worst PR in gaming.
Yeah, that's not
honestly.
Microsoft. That was just 343 being salty, dude. That was them being pissed that they weren't at the showcase. So they did some Nah, I don't know. I'm gonna tell you this, man.
Nah, just in general, I don't know, man.
Like, it was stupid.
That shit's cursed.
But this is why you shouldn't, jump into the bandwagon celebrating a bunch of bullshit, honestly, and you do stupid shit like this, right? Bonobo. And I didn't even know that was an ape.
So, for what you're saying, when pandering goes wrong?
Yeah, when pandering goes wrong. I didn't even know that was a freaking ape, dude. I was like, what the hell is Bonobo? And I didn't even download this thing. Like, nah, like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't even celebrate Juneteenth, so fuck out of here. So I didn't really like none of these, like, these new pandering holidays, you know what I mean? Give me some fucking money. Don't give me this fake ass holiday, and my job ain't gonna give me a day off. So like, I really don't care.
Hey! How about instead of trying to be woke, let's finish the game.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. How about they get their ass? How about they get their ass in check and finish the game? And by the way, I
can
also
be woke after you finish it.
Facts. And I did also say before. When Halo was delayed a year, I said it did need to be delayed even longer, by the way. And remember how it released with like 2 playlists? Just mind my words, bro. Just mind my words. Watch how Starfield releases.
Watch how it releases.
Mind my words.
With 1,000 planets. That's already a lot more content than what Halo would have had.
Oh, absolutely. But, procedurally generated. That's not... that's procedurally generated. But it's not the problem. The problem of Starfield is not going to be the content, though. I'm making that strictly clear. That's not going to be the problem.
Yeah, yeah. But my bad, guys, for that moment where I fucked up the audio by muting my mic. I don't know. I was saying. I think, despite of what I feel like Bethesda gave us a good indication, a good work in progress on Starfield. It has its flaws, sure. But I'm pretty sure the game is going to be a Game of the Year nomination when it releases next year. That's what I was trying to say. But all in all, Xbox, has some games coming out over the next 12 months. Right now, this year is extremely light. Ain't no sugarcoating that.
2023, baby, the year for Xbox.
No, the year.
They're gonna destroy PlayStation, and from there on out, they're just gonna have fingers out.
The year is gonna be 2024, dog.
I think
that's when all the games are probably gonna start releasing that people care about.
PlayStation stands no chance.
Outside of Starfield, I mean, people ain't looking for everything else. People looking for Indiana Jones, Avowed, fucking,
I still
those
think
games.
Avowed and Hellblade still come out next year. I think they come out in the quarter 3 and quarter 4. Which I've always said, Avow's quarter 3 of 2023, and if you're quarter 3, you're not in the fiscal year, and you're not you won't come out in June.
I don't know.
I feel like
further away because
I feel like it's gonna get.
I feel like rebooted a couple times.
I feel like it's gonna get.
But when they say rebooted, how long ago was the game rebooted? That could have been pre-Xbox.
No, you're right. That could have been 2 years ago. Who knows? We don't know, but we'll see.
I feel like the game is gonna. I feel like they're gonna announce a release date and then it's gonna get delayed into 2024. That's why I'm saying 2024 is the year of Xbox, because I feel like it's gonna get delayed into 2024.
Yeah, we gotta see.
Like Hellblade, and Avowed and shit like that.
I feel like we're gonna see maybe Hellblade and Avowed at the Game Awards.
I don't.
Because last year we seen Hellblade at the Game Awards, and I feel like there hasn't been enough. Maybe there hasn't been enough time in between the last time they showed it, so they want to just wait till the Game Awards because they just showed it like 6 months ago.
We just saw it in December gameplay. That was so the thing.
But never mind. I'm not gonna say nothing about that. But I could definitely see it at the Game Awards because it was at the Game Awards in 2019, and it was at the Game Awards last year. So it's probably a high chance we'll see it again at this year's Game Awards.
Yeah, but I think they should. I think they should have saved it for this showcase because it would have added some oomph. But the thing is, at the end of the day, if Xbox would have did that whole big show and all the the megatons we've been waiting for and still had no release dates or anything like that, we would have still been in the same situation we are in today.
Yeah, but it would have been a better show.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, we've had better shows in like 2020 and 2021. And, 2021 was overall great because we had some gems that came to actually that year. But 2020, there was no launch titles and they had a killer showcase. And I still was like, oh, we still got no games, right?
They got to get this management under hold, brother.
Yeah, they need to get like younger And you get younger, and they need to
they
need to hire people who are, I don't know, like I feel like they need to go into different industries. Who does like the best marketing outside of gaming right now?
The best market. Wait, outside. You mean like a company?
Manscaped.
No, Manscaped. Damn.
The Kardashian family.
Damn.
Yeah, oh, that was crazy.
The Kardashian family.
No. Like I think they need to hire somebody. Like I know they've been recently getting people from like Netflix and get somebody from like Disney. Get the people that can like who does a good job with products.
But what are they going?
So bring The Rock back with some Zoa.
No, I'm not talking about like athletes or anything like that. Like, no, actual executives that work in marketing departments for other companies that are high off marketing, like that. Or, like I mean, I don't know.
They need a better PR department too, bro.
What was that?
I like seeing their PR go at these fanboys. This shit's great.
No, what's that? What was the white glove guy? Major Nelson.
Yeah.
Right, that guy. Yeah. I don't know, man. Like we'll definitely see. It looks like 2024. I mean, we'll see what comes out next year. No, but I'm just saying, it looks like 2024 will probably be the year that probably compels me to purchase
an Xbox.
To purchase a Series S. But who knows? I just be hating, stuck on that PlayStation, Game Pass. Got it on my PC and my Xbox.
That shit was funny as hell.
Yeah, that shit hot.
Oh man, appreciate it. Thank you guys for watching the show, episode 108. Hit the like button. Watch on demand if you missed the live show. Shout out to people that tuned in. Give a quick shout outs to Holy One, King Prel, Umbra, Biggie Butters, Nova Red, Geek, Alex PSX, Legion, Tank 4632, whatever, DG. If I'm missing anyone, Michael Tran, Sully, Emulation Gaming. That sounds like somebody Blessed Reddit would talk to.
Nah, that motherfucker's a troll. I don't fuck with that guy.
Oh, is he? Big
Yeah. He's been going nuts in the chat. Like his last statement right here: Xbox was never a great console, always disappointing. I mean,
yeah, he just trolling.
Okay, so I'm just reading Alabama Jones, Verge Brizzle, the top creator. Okay, never mind. His message was deleted, so I shouldn't be shouting him out. All right, man. But thank you guys for watching. It's been a great show. We will see you guys next Wednesday. Ham Solo, you're always welcome. So we go live every Wednesday at around this time. Well, no, I was late today. It's usually around like 8:15, 8:30 is the time I target. But today I was just like, I have to get that ice cream.
I appreciate the invite, fellas.
Thanks, guys. Xbox is the best box. I am the best bot. Good night or good morning if you're on the other side of the globe. We're out of here. Peace.